Let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is William, and we are back today, and we are playing more games. Yes, more games, you say? What a strange occurrence. Well, yes, indeed, my friends, for it is the finale of Ruin Nation, and we let Mike on just this one last time to play games with us. How's it going, Mike?
It's going pretty good. I'm ready to kick off this finale and start some Middle-earth.
Fantastic. Yes. I'm excited for the next campaign as well. But hey, I'm excited to blow up some robots today and fight alongside some giant monkeys and pull off some ridiculous shenanigans. So let's go around the cast and crew and remind ourselves of who we're playing, because it's been a while, actually. It's been like 2 weeks since we've actually played these characters. So let's do a quick recap. I know we don't usually bother going through who our characters are, but let's remind ourselves for today. So we've got Trainsy back today reprising his role. How's it going, Trainsy?
It's going really well, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hopefully become more of a hippo today, if that's maybe in the cards.
Ever before.
As an amphibious, sonar-driven, possible, gray,
Slow.
maybe a hippo, maybe. Just, I don't know. We didn't discuss this. Maybe I should have been like tweeting Mike, like, hey, I don't know if I've been hinting at this all season. But...
for hippo things.
I've been slowly bullying Mike into it this whole time, so it's okay. We'll.
Mike, I love every time you actually say the word hippo. I love the twitch that Mike's eyes just like. He's so triggered.
If we zoom in on the eyes, tiny little hippos are behind.
Like crying.
You can just see the light leave my eyes every time you mention it. All joy seeps from the body.
Fantastic. Of course, you can find our character sheets here online, my friends, in case you wish to see them. We've got Petra back today. How's it going, Petra?
Hello, doing good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm back once more playing Ivona, the fixer, everybody's drug buddy, but drug dealer, at least for Bardock. And yeah, and I'm curious to see if she'll have the one last chance to make any kind of good deals. That would be nice. Otherwise, if we have to fight a lot of robots,
wow,
she'll probably die.
You're like Theresa May right now. Yeah. Fuck.
Hashtag already dead.
Oh man, we got Josh back today. How's it going, Josh?
Yeah, it's good. I will be playing Bardock Corbin. He sort of came out of nowhere, and really he has the people behind him. No,
really out of left field.
Bardock is exactly.
Bardock
is exactly. There's been some scandalous things about cold baked beans. I've read some really weird slander about him. Bardock is a gearhead. He's the driver / the only person in our arc to own a car, or even know what a car is, because that's like high-end tech in this crap world that is completely kaput. And he's mostly a drug-addled lizard punk rocker who hates everyone and is generally unnecessarily violent towards everything and everyone he can find. And I think last episode straight up ate opium raw.
Yeah,
that was a bad move. If we learn anything, don't eat raw opium. That's just a terrible idea.
That's the take home from last session, really.
The cool thing is, he told everyone, let's go and assault this massive base, and everyone went, no, let's not do that. So what are we doing today, Mike?
We're assaulting a massive base.
Yes! Nailed it!
Also, I'll be playing Petrenko. He's the Russian stalker, ever patient.
The most rational.
The most rational, perhaps, of the group. He helps them lead the way and find the path. It's okay. I've only got one last episode to be rational, and then I can.
This is one of the first campaigns.
Then I can be
long time.
literally Sauron.
I want to see. I imagine Petrenko is literally just has a cattle prod in both hands, and he just herds the party like away, back, down, Humphrey, put him down.
Oh, I can't deal with that anymore.
This has been an entire campaign in Josh's exercise to be me, and Will's exercise to be like, hey guys, the plot's this way. The plot's this way.
Remember, it's a show, guys. Quick. All right,
Yeah,
Mike.
hey.
Let's take us away, my friends. We had a thing last time. It's been a couple of weeks. We might need a bit of a refresher.
Yeah, so previously on Ruination, having helped the animals of the tower fend off the attacks from what they call the Watchers, Petrenko, Humphrey, Bardock, and Ivona were treated to an audience and all the hospitality the animals could muster. A tentative accord was struck between the expedition and the Grand Alpha Tesla. If the people were to assist the animals in the defeat of the Watchers, trade and security could be established between both civilizations, furthering to secure the zone and help both out of their current living situations. Setting off in the morning to collect supplies before heading off to where the machines were coming from, Petrenko led the group to a set of abandoned apartments where they were able to find enough food and water to carry on. However, they quickly realized that they were not alone. When someone said, "Oi, who you think you are? What, you think you just come inside this apartment and you think you can just come take all the things? This is my shit. This is fucking my apartment right here. What, you think this is just, you just come and take whatever you want?" And then you hear, but no, hey, wait, we should just ask what they need. Maybe we could help them." And before you stands 4 mutants, all bearing a striking resemblance to a reptilian with the with a British flag T-shirt on, a large actual hippo man who looks like he was from the Animal Towers, a small mousy girl in a miniskirt, and a guy in a complete ghillie suit holding what looks like a rifle, making no sounds whatsoever. What do you guys want to do?
What the hell is this? What?
Not again. Is
Oh.
that some plans or
Is it-
something?
have
Again,
you spiked us,
are we
Ivona?
sleeping?
What do you think I'm some kind of plant? This is ridiculous. I'm here to get food. What are you doing here?
I reach over to
Spot on Josh impression.
Yeah, now.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I reach over to Humphrey and
High-five
pinch
yourself.
him.
What? I mean,
Did you feel that? I'm just not sure if we're asleep again. You remember last time that weird plan? What is that?
I think I'm looking in a mirror. Or
Well,
Like-
are we?
Hey,
I'm gonna-
I like your teddy bear. Is that just yours to keep? Can I have that too? Can we share it?
Teddy bear?
I call.
You have a teddy bear? A little girl gave you a teddy bear last episode?
Why do
remember.
you want my? Who? What's your name?
My name is Harold.
Oh, hey Harold.
Hey.
Where? Are you part animal?
No, I'm all animal.
How did you get that done? Is there like a spot?
Yeah, I was in a place called Paradise Valley, and I lived in the water, and then they did things to my brain, and now I can talk.
The theme
So-
tune to Arthur starts playing.
Do you think
Together
you could?
make things better by working together. It's a simple message.
In my head, I genuinely just feel like this is the most passive-aggressive sort of like charming mugging I've ever been a part of. As we're mugged by Harold and his gang. Just, can
Harold's
I have
actually the
your teddy bear?
mastermind.
You've walked into
Humphrey's ass. I mean,
I'll call
Humphrey
out.
makes all of our decisions.
I'll call out to the stalker and say, "Stalker, what is this? Who are you? Identify yourself."
Says he looks to you, and you can see like the ghillie suit ruffle, and then he turns to
Ooh.
the hippo man, and he just sort of nods towards you, and the hippo man says, "Oh, we're here on an expedition from our ark. We're looking for food and water. What are you guys doing?"
Very much the same.
"Oh, that's convenient. Did you find any?"
Oh,
I lean over to Petrenko and say, "Why do they look like us?" Sort of.
Well, there could be several explanations, I suppose. Maybe they are mutants, and maybe they have cloned us, or copied us, or maybe they are...
You think we're already so popular that they're trying to look like us on purpose?
No,
That
actually,
would be
no.
so awesome.
That doesn't make sense. No one knows who I am. I am a
And
mystery.
Well-
you hear,
Harold, I think that they're lying. I think they have food and water. You should fight them, Harold.
Harold, we could share my bear, all right? Name is Errol.
Oh,
Errol the bear.
I would like that a lot.
Dare you share the Care Bear?
Don't, Humphrey. You weren't doing so well yesterday. Remember, we really need our food.
No, I mean my bear, my teddy bear. Not food. I don't have any of that. Bear.
But how do you want to share the bear?
Well, Harold could have it on the weekends, and then, during the weekdays I could have the bear. But Harold, don't you think there are food and water back at Paradise? Could you guide us?
I mean, I'm not really great with directions, but I think that if I had enough time, I could probably get you there. If we had enough food and water to get there. I heard it takes like a long time.
What about your ghillie suit friend? Does he know where it is?
No, he's just like a regular guy like you. And he like points to the rest of you. He's not an animal person. He's just a regular person.
Shed one tear.
I'm terrified that this has just become Ruination custodian battle between Humphrey and Harold over a bear.
This is actually going to be a long courtroom case for the rest of the session.
The rest of it.
And
just like
surprise reveal, Mitch is coming back to litigate this case.
Calling in witnesses to testify how well Humphrey has taken care of the bear.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the end of the day, the jury is chat, and they will just dictate that Tarask turns up and fucking kills everyone.
Okay, Harold, listen. We need to get to Paradise. If you know a safer way, then you should show us. We could perhaps lend you some of our food and water in return.
I kind of lost the rest of my herd, and I'm not really sure where it is exactly, but there's a tower full of animals. I think that they know where it is.
Okay, yes, I think they do.
Oh, okay. And well, then I'll go ask them where it is.
I think they are that way, and I point in the opposite direction.
Oh, okay. Are you guys sure that you don't have any food and water? Like, we could really use some. If you guys have any.
I have a grub you can use.
You do?
I mean, as long as you. This is Errol, and I bring over the bear to him.
Oh, and he comes over to you while everyone else sort of puts a hand on a pistol, and he just pats the bear on the head. This is nice.
Yeah. All right, now promise I'll give you this grub, but you got to promise to take care of Errol.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I can take care of him, and I'll put him in my bed, and I have a bed, and it has 4 big posts on it, and it has a frilly top on it, and I'll put him there, and he'll have a pillow, and we'll snuggle. I'm
shooting incredulous looks at
okay?
Petrenko and
would that be fine?
Bardock.
Yeah. I used to have a bed, or in my dreams.
Bardock is just staring at this angry knockoff lizard thing, and he's just gonna walk over and just say, "What do you do? What's your part?"
What's my part? What do you think? I do most of the talking and most of the killing. What's
Right.
your part? What do? You just look like a lizard? That's ridiculous.
He's just,
Oh my God, Bardock!
You're just
Bardock shuts down.
he just. What's your name?
My name? My name's Bandit. What's your name?
Bardock.
Bandit and Bardock, huh? We could start a thing. We should be adventurous, you and I. Just leave. 2 lizard folk.
Come with me. I gotta show you something. And he's gonna start walking towards where Juliet is.
On.
All right. Yeah. So he follows you over.
No, I'm showing
No,
you.
you're still down, man. You just keep it goes live for a second and then shuts right back.
Oh,
off.
really?
Yeah.
I'll refresh and it'll say live and then it goes right to offline.
Yeah. Just
no, I see you. Okay, now I see you as live.
Okay.
See if it
Yeah, looks like
burns
we're
down.
good now. Yeah, I did the off and on.
That's
Only
it.
took a couple of seconds to.
Cool. Okay.
Cool. So he follows you over to whatever you're trying to show him.
Right, what do we
Yes.
got over here?
So I'm gonna walk him over to sort of where Juliet's covered under a tarp of Sanka, and gonna grab some rags and cloth and just anything fabric and stuff I can, and point over to Juliet and just say, "I thought I'd show you something pretty awesome." And he points to the car.
So you see him. If you've ever seen like a super like hardcore car guy, like he comes over to this like rusted, just shitty, no glass cannon through the window. It just looks terrible. He's like,
Oh my, this is awesome. You were right.
and he starts like rubbing the hood.
Oh, look at this beaut. I haven't seen one of these. Does it run? Are you
And
just pushing it along?
I walk up behind him, and I just say, "I'm a fucking trademark, you prick!" And I shoot him in the back of the head with a shotgun. Cause no,
Oh my
fucking
God.
way.
As
Why
the
do you allow
two
this bullshit?
as the two walk away, Ivona is looking at the other girl. She's like, "So what about you, Missy? Huh? You've been awfully quiet."
So real quick, Josh, roll me a shoot. See if you succeed at shooting him in the back of the head.
Do I get any bonuses from the fact that I've sufficiently
Yeah,
distracted?
I'll give you a +1. Do it. Just add +1 to whatever die you want.
Okay.
And you can have that for distracting him with the car. I'm a
'Cause no,
fucking trademark.
Oh.
That's my favorite thing.
360s.
Wow.
Get fucked. No.
So I'm assuming you want to do more damage than normal with that.
Hell yes.
How much damage does your shotgun do? Or your scrap rifle?
Oh god, let me let me just say. It does 2.
Okay. And how much do you want to do? You want to use your 2 extra bonus die to do 1 extra damage each to do 4 total damage?
I want to blow his fucking head off, Mike.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I
see
wanna-
as how he has 2 strength, and you shot him with a shotgun. That's what you do. You just say, "I'm a fucking trademark," and you pull out your shotgun, and you just a big
No.
hole in his chest appears, and he has enough
Just
time to like look down, and then just slumps on the car, and then.
What I've done is I've wrapped like the muzzle of my shotgun with this cloth and rag to try and suppress some of the sound. There's no way I'm doing
No.
anything near enough.
Yeah,
But
there's
I'm
no
just
science behind that at all.
like, fuck you. No, it's because like he's going off the mentality of saw it in a movie, or
Yeah.
like heard about it in a movie once where they use the pillow as a suppressor, and he's like, "This will fucking work. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
So, I
So you
should-
hear the loud shotgun bang, and it like kind of echoes through the cavernous apartment complex. You see this guy slump down, a big huge hole through his chest, and just a big blood smear appears on Juliet as he slides off.
and then I
um,
will start cleaning the bonnet because
You just undo the rags and start cleaning it in, cleaning the blood into the rust holes. Awesome. So Ivona, you turn to the female in a miniskirt, and what did you ask her?
She said, "And what about you, Missy? You've been awfully quiet. Got anything
I've
to
been
say?"
awfully quiet. I listen. I do enough talking for everyone here. And what do you do? What are you doing here? You just been whispering things back and forth. What's your name?
I don't think it's any of your business. That's my name.
Well, that's quite a mouthful. Humphrey, Harold. I think we should just go.
So Harold is up to you, and he's like has his hand out for your grub, Humphrey, and he has his other hand out for Errol the bear. He says, "Yeah, when should we meet up and discuss when you can have?"
Are
Errol
they
back?
totally
Can I
cool with
just
him
keep
being
Errol?"
shot in the back of the head, by the way?
He's
Well-
gone. Like he let him
Oh, he
away,
went
like out of the
away.
Yeah,
building
no, I
to where
deliberately. I
Juliet is.
was like, because we were nowhere near where Juliet was, so I was like, I'm just gonna go over here for a minute and shoot this man dead.
Yes,
Fuck it.
you guys are absolutely going to hear a shotgun ring out. But Harold asks Humphrey first, and the amount of time it takes him to get down there.
But Harold, we need your help finding paradise.
Right, but I thought you were
don't
going to
think
ask
we
the
do.
guys at the animal towers, and they were going to help you find. I can ask them for you because I'm an animal too.
Oh, that's
But,
They
fine.
might like me more.
I doubt
I
it.
think we need, like, they could tell us, but if you were there to guide us, I
Will.
think that'd be great.
I doubt it. But I don't remember where
Ship
I have to ask where I have to ask the animal people where it is. I
Well,
haven't
you can-
been there in a long time.
You ask and then come with us, Maybe it'll
Oh.
pop back in your memory, like, as you get there,
Okay.
because we don't
Yeah.
know the facility.
Yeah. When are you going back to the animal place? That seems like a good idea.
Today.
Oh, Well, that's really convenient. Okay. Well, as
Is it
soon as
now?
as soon as Bandit gets back, I think we can go. It's gonna be slow. We gotta walk there, but I think shotgun blast. Oh, that was a loud noise. I wonder what that could have been. What do you think? What do you think that was?
Maybe Juliet digs off.
What's a Juliet?
Yes,
That was
definitely
probably
a car. It makes that noise a lot.
firing, yeah.
You
when
have a
they're,
car?
Oh,
Has
yes.
some problems with his bowels, you know.
But it is top secret. Only we can look at it. And those who Bardock choose. Apparently. So best we all move along now.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I guess we'll start walking to the animal towers, and we'll meet you guys there. Does that work
Yeah,
for
you
everybody?
just go ahead.
Yeah, you just keep on walking and don't look back.
Oh, okay.
Because
And
the
then you
sun
hear-
is out.
You hear the woman in the skirt say,
I don't trust them. I think we should just get out of here, Harold.
and Harold's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go look for Bandit, and then we can all just leave. We'll meet you guys there. Have a good day. Thank you for Errol." And he just takes your bear and your one grub and leaves.
Harold, okay. See you later today.
Bye. And he just waves his big hippopotamus hand. We'll see you later. I
I'm
like your,
sure
I
we
like your
will.
ears.
Like- Touch my ears. Just feeling a little crushed. Look
Feel
down
like
at
it's
my
sad that there is an actual
Understandably.
hippo person.
look down at my normal human feet and just kick the dirt.
Now you have no bear. You're not a hippo. Not yet a man. Not yet a
Yeah.
hippo. Yeah. So Bardock, you pass them in the hallway as they're coming down. Oh, hey, other lizard man, have you seen Bandit? We're looking for him. We're gonna go meet at the animal towers. We'll meet you guys there.
Oh, that's really weird. He just said that he was gonna go on a trip.
Oh, that sounds like Bandit. He just kind of does whatever he wants.
Yeah, sounds like a good guy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it was really nice meeting you all.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bardo literally like has blood on him. Is like clean.
carrying a
No
shotgun.
fucks given. Just like, huh, cool, and comes back and is just like, what the fuck was that all about?
Did you take care of it? It
What do you
sounded
mean
like
I
it.
take care of it? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Most of it's come off, but it's because of the rust.
Why
you've
did
got
you
to
do
really
that?
scrub it. What did I do? What?
Kill him.
I never said I killed him. I said I cleaned the bonnet.
Yes, but I just heard a shotgun. You are covered in blood, and you are reloading your shotgun. And that other man is gone. Is it reasonable
Yes.
to assume that he has died?
I mean, define reasonable. We live in a wasteland
you.
full of mutants and people.
It's
Define reasonable, not unreasonable.
okay. Then I don't even want to know.
That's good because I don't really want to explain it. So,
I doubt you could if you tried, friend.
Fucking. Yeah. So we are heading to. Are we off? The car's fine.
Yes. I think we are off.
Cool.
So, all right. So you guys have found food and water in this apartment complex. Humphrey, you have given up your bear companion, and you guys are headed to the animal tower. Or are you guys headed to find where these robots are coming from?
I mean, they more or less already explained to us
Yeah.
that it's
They-
far up in the north.
They sort of said they didn't have maps that far. They just went,
Mm.
it's further than your maps go, and we don't know. And we were like, all right, cool. That's
Yes. So you guys are just
um,
gonna head directly north.
Yeah.
Okay.
There may or may not be a new hood ornament on my car. And I may have Go Faster stripes that are very red. But there may be a lizard head on the front of my car. It's going to be
So-
awesome.
So when you guys get back to Juliet, you see the newly minted caracorn, the traffic cone full of rocks strapped with a belt to the front of it, and on the traffic cone through the hole in his chest is a lizard person, just sort of strapped to it, much like the abomination of human flesh when you rammed it. except this one is already dead. It looks like he didn't kill it with the car. And there is Bandit. All the color has drained from his body. He's just
there's straight up. There's a like a basically piece of like cloth that I found that doesn't cover his whole body. Is saturated in blood, and I've thrown it over the top because now that it is covered by a piece of tarp, it is completely invisible and no one will notice.
Of course.
That's the deal. And then
you just wrapped it on his eyes because if he can't see you, you can't see him.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
That's driving. Keep our eyes peeled. We heard that this paradise is dangerous and more of those robots, so expect resistance once we get there. And I would suggest once we are there that we merely find it and then return, because a direct assault upon a larger number of enemies undoubtedly is suicide for us.
It didn't sound like the four of us could take it down on by ourselves.
All right.
I mean, if we had Harold's help.
No.
No.
But he knows the facility, and he seems pretty smart. I think I like the guy.
He definitely seemed nice.
Yeah.
He sounds like more of you.
Oh, okay.
So no. And I start the engine.
Oh.
I put a hand on his shoulder. Fear not,
Yeah,
friend.
I was about to do the same.
Yeah, we both do the same. We don't want him to cry.
Do you have any more of that really awful tasting alcohol? Could use it.
I hand you some like terrible vodka, moonshine monstrosity that straight away just I actually put in the car mostly. So there you go. Drink
The
up.
smell of it burns your throat.
Take a sip of it, and
Oh, not again.
See, he's better.
and then one for my Harold's. And I pour like a little bit on the ground.
One for Errol.
One for arrow.
I take it the bottle off you and I'm like, appreciate it. And then I just smack you in the face and say, don't spill my booze. And I start driving.
Dog,
I like the
he's
idea-
grieving.
I like
that
the
was
idea that
uncalled for.
I like the idea that he actually does say, "Don't spill my beard," and completely unreasonably.
How
Just
dare
say party foul.
my
Doesn't know what it
beard.
means. So, to go straight north, I need Will. I need you to, or Petrenko. I need you to make me a find the path.
Oh goodness, I've forgotten just how bad I am at this.
Just how terrible you are at all skills.
Find the path. 5, 2, 2. 2 successes.
Oh my god! So you successfully find the path here. You guys, you
Found
can
it.
find more. You can find more food, grub, or bullets if you want, or you can go twice as fast.
We don't need speed right now. We were running a bit low on water last week. I seem to remember. If I bring up my notes.
I believe so. I believe
I
you guys are running pretty low on
found-
everything.
I found 6. I have 6 food right now.
Yeah, I'm good for food.
Didn't we find water?
Actually,
You
for
did
water?
find a little bit of water, but I think you guys are. I think you found like 2 or 3 water.
yeah, I've got one. I mean,
I'm doing okay. I've got 4 grub and 2 water.
Okay.
I've got
So
So you
water,
guys
but-
know that
Oh,
if
crap.
you guys are below max strength or max agility, you can eat grub to regain that agility, or regain the strength is for grub. And
What is
regain the agility is for-
Humphrey's water looking like?
I think he's out.
I'm on. This will be day 2 of not having water.
Okay, well, let's find.
Yeah, Humphrey can't heal at
in
all.
the apocalypse. Let's find some water now.
Okay. So then roll me 1d6, Will.
Okie dokes. That
And I need
is
bullets.
3.
You
Just
find
shot, man.
3. You find 3 water.
I give him a.
So did we
Humphrey.
still have something left from the rations we found last time? The water.
Yeah, you guys found all the rations. It's it's still the morning. You guys left the animal towers, went to the apartments, found stuff, and then it's a mere hour or so later. So Humphrey chugs down some water. Humphrey, you are no longer dehydrated, and you can heal normally if you have the grub and water to do so.
I'm still covered in rot, so
That's true. You are covered in rot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't heal that unless you have a shower
Yeah.
or you sleep
Unless you
inside.
have
Oh, I'm going to
Showers.
take care of it.
Yeah,
Oh
she can
dear.
eat some for you.
Let's drive and let's find paradise. Does that exist?
So you guys find that. I will take one more find the path.
Oh, I will give it to you.
You find all of the paths.
Does this work?
If you do
I
well,
go?
can we have bullets, please? Because I have one shotgun shell left.
I got 2 success.
That's good. So 2 successes. So you successfully find the path. You can find water, grub, bullets, or move twice as fast.
Yeah, sounds like we need bullets.
All right. Roll me 1d6.
On the 6. 5.
5 bullets.
I have 15 bullets, so I don't know if anyone needs any.
Wow.
Yep.
Holy crap. I have 4 left.
Okay.
One.
This...
I have 5 that I'll never use.
I will simply never use.
Why do you have so many bullets? Also, you have a laser gun.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Just give, I don't know, as 5 of them, just give 3 to Bardock and 2 to Ivona.
Sweet.
Okay.
So I have 4.
That works.
Cool. And then zoom along.
Yeah. So here, you guys pass over a bridge into a small island. The bridge has many pockmarks and holes in it that you kind of got to weave back and forth with Juliet's. It's pretty precarious. Bardock, you know from wandering the wastelands without Juliet how, and so does Petrenko, how dangerous bridges can be because you're just out in the open. It's equally as bad as a field, except these drop you into pits of disgusting rot water. So it's probably worse than a field. So you carefully navigate across this as quickly as you safely can, or as quickly as you Bardock can. And you guys appear on a small island. This island is littered in like factories. It's like large buildings, huge smokestacks that are half toppled over. And everyone can make me a scout check.
Okay. Whoops.
Scout Arena, okay. You?
The goggles that I got from Lemmy, do they help in any way? The infrared goggles?
Let me double check. You have.
I really miss those lizards.
They give
Komodo
you
dragons.
let me see here.
Hey, you got a lizard. Don't try and replace me.
They give you a
Sorry,
+2
they were
bonus.
cuter.
I believe they give
I've
you a
already
Wow.
killed one lizard today. Don't fucking push me.
You've been taken over for a cuter looking lizard.
Plus,
True.
I'm
Cucked.
sorry, Bardock, but you
they
don't
give
have
they give you
an
they give you a
opium then.
+2 bonus.
Cool.
Don't I know it?
1 success.
Fantastic. So we got
Cucks.com, man.
1 success and 1 success. Cool. So Humphrey and Ivona, since you are backseat drivers and you don't have to babysit Bardock as he tries not to kill everybody, you guys can easily look out the window. And as you are cresting the top of the bridge, you see that all the buildings kind of align in such a way that if you just get the right angle, it looks like something punched through several of them and landed in the distance. Something crashed through several buildings. There's like a big hole. You can see like this tower's knocked off, like this chimney's knocked off, this one's slightly lower, this one's slightly lower. Roofs of buildings have been knocked off. So something came crashing through this from the air. And you immediately think back to that night where the big blaze of light flashed through the sky and exploded.
Ivona's,
Ooh, look at that. Humphrey, do you think what I'm thinking?
Probably
Yeah.
not. No.
I don't think I'll ever see Arrow again.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Called it.
that.
Called
that
it.
you know, maybe you will see him again. I'm pretty sure of it. But in the meantime, guys, look at that.
and she points out at the scene of the broken
Yeah.
off
So
roof.
you guys all see that. There's like a half U shape where it's like broken buildings and chimney tops all seeming to point in one direction. That direction is this way.
Don't you think that could be the thing that we saw in the sky
I
and that
think
then
so.
crashed?
Yes.
Do you think we should go and take a look at it?
It might have weaponry. Or food and water.
Might have all those things.
Might have another teddy bear for you. Hey?
Oh, really?
I wouldn't count on it, but you never know.
I mean, if there's a chance, we should go. I'm going. I just kind of start
Okay.
walking.
You're still in the car, right?
Yeah.
No,
So, like, I
just
open
walking it up
open the
just
car
like,
door and I'm like,
get out.
I appreciate how. Oh, there might be a bear. Well, probably not though, but there might be. We'll find out. Yeah, so roll me one more find the path to get there, see how much trouble you get yourselves in.
Okie dokie.
Mike's just like, fail. Just please. Just once.
I got 2 success again. Wait.
Hot damn. So
Fucking
you,
damn.
you know what you can choose from. You tell me what you're picking.
I
Bullets.
will.
Give
Yeah.
me bullets.
Let's do bullets again because we're at the finale.
Sure.
Fuck rations.
1d6.
Mike, real quick.
Yes!
Give him the bottom.
Wow.
Yes.
So last time I got this regen pen, if you remember.
Yes, I do remember.
And Ivona would like to, at some point during the night, she's curious if she's going to use that on herself.
Okay,
only
you can roll a comprehend to see if you know what it does. If you'd like.
I mean, even if she doesn't understand, she's probably just,
Gonna stick herself with it?
yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, you can roll comprehend if you want to figure out what it does before you just jab it into your body.
Okay, hold on. That's wits. I mean, she's wondering if that might be something useful for her business. Maybe something that she could have reproduced and then.
Just jab it in. See what happens.
Just stick it in and see what happens, guys.
3.
Okay, cool. So you know exactly what this is. You've heard stories about this. You've heard stalker legend about this device. In fact, you know so well you could teach other people how to use it. This works like an EpiPen, and what it does is it will heal all permanent trauma you have taken to your body, and you can tell based on the indicator lights that it has one use.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've taken permanent trauma like new mutations or nasty
Losing
other
a teddy
bad
bear.
things, or missing a teddy bear, you can, if you've had traumatic incidents, you can inject yourself with this, and it will heal all permanent trauma.
This is
Only
exact-
from one type of attribute or from all, because I've lost strength and I lost agility.
All.
Wow.
Cool.
You're absolutely right, man. This works exactly like an EpiPen.
Yeah.
I got a friend, and I'm just like, why do you not use this all the time? And
Yeah.
he's like, because I'm very ill. I'm like,
This
oh,
heals
fuck.
all ailments. Just stick it in.
Just
Cancer and everything.
Just
yeah,
stab it in your
yeah,
body,
just
man.
do it.
How many attribute points did we have to spend at the beginning? I'm trying to remember how much agility I had. I know strength, but
10?
no, it must have been
No,
more.
14?
14, yeah.
14.
Okay.
So it heals all of them if you jab yourself with this.
I had more agility. No,
So
wait.
as-
Oh, it was the other way. Never mind. Sorry.
That's right. You figure it out if you want to use it, and then feel free to use it. Just let me know. So as you guys progress, as you're driving through this factory area, you can hear the roar of Juliet's engine kind of reverberating off of the hollow walls. And everyone, please make me a scout check to see as you are slowly traversing this jungle of urban development.
As I'm driving, can I just clink some bottles together?
Yes.
Warriors.
You just yell warriors. Yeah. You could do that too at the same time.
Hey.
That's one success.
Yeah. So Humphrey and Petrenko, you're the first to notice as you're kind of like peering through the slats in the metal things on the car, the metal grating. You see several of these spider robots you saw at the animal towers, skittering along the sides of buildings. Some of them are dragging metal components. You can see some of them are like rooting through stuff inside like these factories as you pass. None of them really are taking too much notice of you. They seem to be all tasked out with something, but you do notice several of them going about some kind of job as you slowly progress through the city.
Something going on over there. I'm not too sure what.
Maybe they won't attack us because we're not animals.
They seem to be working rather than fighters. We could try approaching a little closer and see if they are hostile.
One of the drones that you guys fought off on the roof kind of down, and you can see that it's carrying like a large a bundle of something. It's like a burlap sack of something, and it's headed in the direction you're going, in the direction that all the holes were broken in.
Yeah, they're taking things somewhere, but where exactly? I'm not too sure.
Well, we could just follow them.
I agree. I think it's best that we stay on the path for now. If it's one thing I've learned, then going
find
off
the
can
path
be.
and stay on it.
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing. This is one skill I actually have. Is find the path.
It's finding
I don't want to
paths.
lose it
I
once
look-
I found it.
I look to Petrenko and I'm just like, so we're going subtle and sneaking in, yeah?
For now, yes.
Okay, cool. And I continue driving in the loudest vehicle that has ever been produced in the world.
Like
But I-
you guys like slow down to like a crawl when you're like looking at all the spiders and you're like, oh yes, of course. And then you like punch it, it's like bang, backfires as it continues to like, across the road. Absolutely. So the closer you guys get, the more you see these spiderling things, the more you see drone activity as they're like carrying things in. And then before long, you see this come into view.
Ooh.
You see a giant
girl.
metal wheel with 4 huge central spokes. Sorry. This thing towers over these buildings. It's slanted in a way that unless you're up close, you really can't see it. But it is this enormous structure, and milling about around the outside are more of the spider things collecting what looks like debris and rubble that matches the design of the wheel itself. If everyone wants to roll me another scout real quick, see if you guys see anything besides what you've already seen.
I feel like I'm burning all my luck rolling 6s with only like 3 d6s.
Yeah, don't worry. It's not like the rest of the episode's comp.
Jeez.
I'm bad.
Shit.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I got one.
This is Scout?
This is Scout. So we have Humphrey and Petrenko. You guys have the keenest of mutant and hippopotamus eye, and you see before you several humanoid, very thin, frail shapes moving about towards the base of this thing. Let me go ahead and push you a sweet thing here. Push to everybody. Show everyone. There you go. You guys see these humanoid shapes milling about. They look like they're directing the drones and spiderlings, and they are clearly trying to rebuild whatever this giant wheel is. How do you guys want to proceed?
They are literally trying to invent the wheel.
Fucking
Yes.
idiots. That
I want to take a look at Juliet.
no. If they figure out my legendary ingenuity of realizing that I can't inflate the tires, so instead just pump concrete into them, you know, the world will come to an end. They'll have the technological advantage.
Reinvented the wheel here already.
Yeah, exactly. Does this so like in my mind, like the thing I'm looking at that, and in my head I'm thinking, so that looks like the International Space Station. Is it like that big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like, I mean, for an actual size thing, this is probably at least as big, and if not bigger than your Ark or the Animal Towers space-wise. This is one spoke off of the International Space Station, off of some kind of space station.
Yeah, I was just like, that's gotta be, yeah. So like looking at it, Bardoc's just like, there must be a really big car up there somewhere, and he just stares in awe at the sky.
Or maybe parts you could use to make Juliet even more beautiful.
Yeah,
The logic
like-
actually fits. I mean,
I have heard stories like way back when there were cars called like the Galaxy and stuff, and
Millennium Falcon. Yes, I've heard the tales.
yeah, and that fly in the sky. So, yeah, we need that in our
Well,
lives.
if there is a wheel that big, it must fit onto something even bigger. It only stands to reason. But remember, our mission was for water and supplies.
Yeah, but listen, my car, Juliet, she needs certain things to run, like. And he swigs the bottle. He sort of sloshes the bottle around and says, "Well, if it works in the same way, it's probably stuff like that on board, stuff we can sell or salvage."
That was my idea too. Also, I'm kind of curious about these human kind of looking robots. I want to
They
know
what?
if they're friendly or not.
They're not.
How do you know?
Because nothing is literally. When was the last time you left the Ark and found a damn friendly thing?
Well, the animals, they were friendly. Lemmy
Manipulative,
gave me a
violent,
gift.
sociopathic drug addicts. I hate people like that.
Harold was nice.
Harold was nice. I miss you, Humphrey.
Perhaps we could.
Shepard!
Perhaps we should take a closer look into things before we return on our reconnaissance mission. But
All right.
is it so, Mike? Is there green grass around or anything like that? We were told of paradise, you know.
So this does not look like any kind of paradise you were told about. So they said far to the north. You've
Yeah.
only been like 4 or 5 hours to the north.
Right.
And this is like, it's all factories on this, what you're supposed to be an island. Everything's concrete jungle. In fact, where this wheel landed is all just destroyed buildings around it. And just from looking where you are, you can see that a lot of the buildings around it have already been cleared out. And that's why the spiderlings and drones have been going further and further. And if you would like, anyone who is intuitive, feel free to roll me a comprehend to see if you can figure out what the hell's going on here.
Yeah.
What
I
are
mean-
we trying to comprehend?
What the
Like-
situation is, like what's happening here,
Nope.
Okay.
Hold on.
beyond whatever your general opinion might be, Bardock.
Okay.
Only
One
because
success.
Bardock's opinions are usually wrong. But he
Then,
believes
I
them
mean-
anyway.
Yeah, it's
It doesn't stop him from believing them. It just states a fact. So Ivona, you have a feeling that since you've seen the spider things and the drone things sort of grabbing up a bunch of scrap and whatever they can find around here, and you saw them as far as the animal towers, you can assume that whatever they're trying to do, they're trying to rebuild this thing and get it back operational. And they encountered the animals and saw them as hostile. Most likely because the animals thought they were the same watchers that they had previously encountered. These may be the same, they may be different, you're not really sure. But you're thinking that these drones and spider things were sent out to get materials and just happened to encounter the animals.
Yeah, Ivona would relay that to the others. And then also say,
It's kind of curious though that these machines here that work on this thing seem to be the same one as the things and the machines in this Paradise Valley. Don't you think?
and she looks at Petrenko.
That would make
But
sense.
where do they come from?
Paradise, I suppose, maybe, or the skies. I kind of look upwards. That thing, all of the things they fly. Perhaps they came from a place in the skies. Something crashed. Remember?
He looks up.
Yeah, something crashed. It might have been that thing or something else, but it came from they're ways up there, so it's possible that there is another place up there in the sky somewhere.
It's just funny. It makes you wonder why they would come down here and then experiment on animals to make them speak and behave like us.
Maybe it's
What if-
for our resources.
What if they're trying to get back up there?
I think
Maybe
they
so.
have certain talents that we don't have, and if they make them as smart as us, then they, like if you had hippo strength, that could be pretty useful.
He's not wrong.
Hippos can live underwater for a long time.
I think Bardock might be onto something too.
Harold?
What if they got trapped here? What if the explosion they fell somehow, like a bird with its feather clipped? Perhaps they fell and they're trying to get back up.
Yeah. That's basically what I said earlier.
Only that I didn't really explain it in my words because Mike already did.
But yeah. You see, they're
Thanks,
coming
Mike.
from all the way back there, and they're collecting things
Yeah.
and trying to make it whole again so they can leave.
I agree. Well,
So
maybe we could help.
I have an idea. What if the machines in the Paradise Valley are no longer there because they also have to help with this? I mean, that
Oh.
would be really helpful, wouldn't it?
You mean that they'd leave it unattended?
Who knows? I mean, if all of the animals are gone anyway, or most of them, they don't really have anything to do there anymore unless they were able to find new animals.
Or humans can't be trusted because they're too stupid to let their world not fall into pieces. So they're putting the faith in animals.
Yeah,
Also
makes sense.
Possible. Does it?
Well, I'm just. It's like almost sounds logical, and then Bardock agrees. Shit, it's probably bollocks. He says, well, hold on. I mean, you know, science and reason aside, I think we can all agree that that's a shit show better than the Ark, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
So
It's bigger.
I want it.
It has potential. It has potential. Well, maybe Ivona is right. Maybe because they're working on this thing, Paradise is open, and we know that Paradise is bigger than this, so there might be tens of those things back at home.
Ooh.
Do we know that? Do we?
I'm
You just talking shit?
making
Maybe.
some. I feel like I am talking about as much shit as all of us.
Right. No, look, here's my point. You see that? You see that thing out there? Look how high that top bit is. If you had a decent rifle, Petrenko, how far do you reckon you could see in every direction? It's next to, there's very little rock around here from what I can see. In comparison to the fucking marsh we live in. Our ark's falling apart, it's full of arseholes. If we brought the right people here, we could start afresh. And the amount of tech there is, fuck me, if we tore this thing apart, we'd probably make a good living for ourselves out here.
Well, it would kind of cut my business short. Because Bardock, I don't have to remember you where I get the sludge from. I would have to find something else.
But I suppose we could look into this further if you wanted.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Agreed.
And Bardock's going to find someone to stow Juliet, because I feel like we've wasted all of, we've used up the amount of stealth she's capable of.
Yeah. So, go ahead and, let's see. What is the stealth skill? Go ahead and roll me a sneak, Bardock.
Is this to hide Juliet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you guys were idling in an area where things were flying overhead for a couple minutes there, or at least driving through it.
Yeah. I'm sure everything's fine.
I'm sure it'll be just great. You won't roll several zeros. All ones.
No, I won't.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you stow Juliet in one of the abandoned factories. You go in and you see that this factory has been mostly picked clean of all metal objects. It's mostly just concrete, a few pieces of rebar, but there's no machinery in this. And you've been driving, the ones you were driving past, you can see there were still bits of machinery, and that's what the robots were sort of scrapping and bringing with them. So yeah, you stow Juliet, you throw a tarp over just 1/3 of her and call it good, and no one can see that. You put a few rocks on top of that, blends right in. Yeah, you guys are on foot. What's your plan? Are you slowly proceeding to the sky wheel, or are you scouting
Sky
from a
wheel,
distance?
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we need to get closer to it, really, to see anything more.
Sure. Yeah. So is that your plan to scout it out? You're not going to go right up to it and ask these robots what's going on?
Probably just get as close enough as possible to get a better look, and then make the next decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Petrenko, go ahead and make me a actually make me a know. Anyone who wants to make me a know the zone.
Okay.
Let's see.
I rolled 1.
What is that based on?
Which,
Okay, it wouldn't be
know the
too
zones
bad.
are 1. Yeah.
Hold on.
God damn, this game is unforgiving, man.
It really is. That's why I picked it, because
Why?
I secretly hate you
Seven.
guys.
Because I've never been
Seven
to
times.
this.
Single thing.
I secretly hate you guys. All right, so everyone scored a 1. Okay, cool.
Fuck
So So you guys kind of get out. You explore around the building you guys are in. You find several high rooftops. Let's say Petrenko, since you have the rifle, you find one of the smokestacks, one of these long pillars, still has like a ladder built into it, so you can get pretty high. It's precarious, but you can get up there. The rest you can find high points on buildings if you so choose. Bardock, you're too busy adding small rocks to the disguise that is Juliet to make sure robots don't pick her apart, because they apparently like machinery, and you'd be as devastated as Humphrey is without his bear if you lost Juliet. So everyone else, you guys have an automatic +1 on any scout checks now that you have found higher ground. So if you guys want to explore this area and find higher ground and get a bead on what the hell is happening with these robots, these metal men, you are more than welcome to do so with a scout check. And I believe Petrenko, you have a +2 to scout. You have a +2 to any like aiming things because of your tactical visor.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. So I roll a scout again?
Yeah, you can roll a scout. Anyone who wants to, from their new advantage point, can roll scout. You all have an extra +1, and Petrenko, you have an extra +2 on top of that because of your visor.
And you said the goggles give me a +2?
Yes.
I rolled like 10 dice and got 1 6.
Let me see here.
In a way, I'll miss the system.
You should see that
way.
tactical visor.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Josh making up for the bad rolls.
There you go.
There we go.
What the hell? You like wasted all your 6s on that one.
You the finite. No.
Yeah, they are definitely a resource in this
I look out and I'm just like, I see all of the traps and ambushes, but I've spent all my 6s now, so we're going to walk into all of them.
Yeah, well, so that's the thing. So everyone else, so here's what everyone sees, except for Humphrey. Humphrey, your beady little hippo eyes, they don't see too good from the rooftops. It's too bright up here. You don't have eyelashes. So you guys all get to high vantage points. Someone grabs Bardock to see. You guys can see that on the bottom, one of the spokes is just completely like busted open, and these humanoid ones are sort of walking in and out of there. You'll see one of them go in. You see what could be the same one come out, but all of the robotic creatures you see are coming out of this one entry point. So you'd safe to assume that this actually opens up inside, and there's stuff going on in here. You see one of these larger ones, kind of like the automaton you saw back at the animal towers, except it's on track wheels, like a tank. And it's on wheels, and it's sort of moving around. And it's sort of, you can guess that it's pulling security. Petrenko, you'd probably know that. It seems to be doing laps, long looping laps around this wheel, this crashed sky wheel. And it appears to be just doing that repeatedly. Nothing else, no deviation from that. You can actually see worn tire tracks in the ground where it's been circling in a known path. But every once in a while, one of these drones sort of sweeps in and adds some kind of debris to this area. And there's several huge piles, such as this one here, of scrap that are all piled on top of each other. You see the spiders bringing things in, dropping them, and then crawling back out to the city. And Bardock, you get like 4 questions. You can ask whatever you want. The 3 suggestions are: is it coming for me? Are there more of them close by? And how can I get in?
Mike.
Go ahead.
Could I attach those tank tracks onto Juliet?
Okay, that's question 1. You get 3 more.
That's all of my questions on that one.
That's all I was going to ask that one until I get an answer.
If not, why? If so, when?
No. Oh Christ. Okay. Do they appear to have spotted us?
So yes, you think you can attach those tank tracks to Juliet. Yeah. No, they don't appear to have spotted you yet. You have 2 questions left. Like I said, the 3 suggestions are they coming for me? Are there more of them close by? And how do I get in, past, or away?
The last 2. So
How do I
are
get
there
in?
more of them?
Okay.
Are there more of them nearby? Like, what's the rough numbers in this area? And also, how can we get to that door and get inside? What's the best way?
So without, so you have no way to track how many you've seen. or how many different robot machines there are. But you do take a minute and you count with whatever rudimentary counting skills you might have, and you've noted that there are 5 separate spiders that return. Probably like every 10 or so minutes, a spider returns, and you've seen about 5 of them come back, drop something, and leave. So you know that the spiders turn around on a 5 to 10 minute iteration. The drones come back every 30 or so minutes, and it's usually in 2s. They come back, and you can see on the ground 3 of those humanoid ones, and one with tank tracks.
So Bardock literally licks his lips, rubs his palms together, and just says, I could attach them to Juliet. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, right. There's like, what, 5 of these spider bastards who keep circling around every 5 minutes. The drones come in pairs. There's 2 of them every now and again. I guess so. If one gets hit, the other one could report it in. And I don't know what the fuck that is down there other than my Christmas present, but right. Oh, well, how did you say the best way to get past them?
Oh, sorry. The best way to get past is you know that the drones and spiders seem to be just on a direct path. You don't ever see them deviate from their path. Very similar to the Sentinel, and the Sentinel takes big looping circles around this place. So you're sure as long as its back is to you, it's probably not going to see you from where you are, at least, or judging by like you haven't seen it like do anything crazy other than rotate. And you're pretty sure that these, like, you can see how frail these lab robots are, the humanoid ones. You're pretty sure if necessary, you can take them out, or you can sneak around, like go long and sneak around behind the Skywheel. They all appear to be in the front of it.
Okay. I sort of say, well, the tank bastard hasn't... The tracks one, it's just going around in circles over and over again. If we were to follow its tracks and stay behind it and follow it round, we know where it is. We stay in its blind spot, get round to the back where those small skinny fuckers aren't, and then see if there's a way in round the back.
Good idea. Quieter route is preferred.
Right. And I load my shotgun.
Yeah, I load up as well.
Confirm the quiet route. I load the loudest gun I have.
Yeah.
Got it.
No firing that thing until we need.
The scrap cannon.
Yeah, I'm just like, let's do this.
I got my laser gun with me as well, so I'm suited and booted.
Yeah, you guys can take whatever you are able to carry. I believe you guys have your carrying capacity on your sheets, so you guys can absolutely do that.
How many of us would it take to lift that scrap gun?
The scrap gun? The one that's mounted on Juliet? One of you.
Yeah.
It's two weight. So you can literally carry it. It's I 100% if you fire that from like holding it, you're gonna be prone.
Yes.
It absolutely knocks you on your ass. Like you go flying. But you can do it. I won't stop you.
I won't stop.
I sort of like pick it up and just sort of say, Humphrey, you're good at carrying shit, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty nice shoulders.
He like flexes them.
Out of character, what's your carry capacity? What's your strength?
My strength is 4 right now.
And
So
how
his capacity is like
much
10.
how much stuff are you carrying?
I'm not carrying much at all.
Cool. Would you
Yeah.
be able to carry Juliet's mounted scrap cannon for me, please? That's what because we can carry it and potentially use it if shit gets sticky. Because I'm like, fuck it, it's a finale. Let's go with like a ballista tank, whatever the fuck this is, gun.
Also, Humphrey, it might help you rescuing the teddy bear. Should there any teddy bear be inside that thing?
I'll tell you what. I once fired a small like rat-like creature, and I fired it like 4 miles, I reckon. So if you need to get it out of here in a quick jiffy, you can just ram the teddy bear in there, fire it back home.
No, I think I've given up on the teddy bear.
No, don't say that, Humphrey.
It's
Oh.
all right. Probably gave up on you coming back for it, and I hand you the scrap cannon.
I accept it. kind of unwillingly.
Humphrey, just go ahead and take 1 emotional damage.
Just
I've been trying to do it for the whole season.
Just take 1 sadness point.
It takes 1 teddy bear.
Arrow
but
Bear.
It wasn't enough.
Arrow Bear helps regain empathy points. So
It did.
it
used to.
did.
Now it helps. Now it helps Harold regain empathy points.
Now it provides negative empathy points.
Yeah.
Once per day.
Now you lose them twice as fast. For every 1
my
point you
God.
lose, you actually lose 2.
Oh.
Yeah. So everyone. So the plan is to go around the long way, watch this tank thing roll by, and then get in from behind.
Mhm.
Yeah. Whatever innuendos you want there.
How would I hold this thing? Like, I'm just kind of awkward with my arms.
You
With
know
my
that
axe
one?
lying in my
On your
back.
shoulder?
You know, like in the movie Predator, the one black dude who has the hip mounted 50
course.
cal. It's kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's this huge gun. Basically, think of like a massive hand cannons, like probably this big size blunderbuss that you just load full of scrap
Yeah,
and then
I was
just.
gonna say the best thing about it is we don't need to carry ammo. All we need to do is literally pick up whatever the
Carry
fuck
them.
we can find.
It's just
Mhm.
garbage
Fire.
and
Yeah.
explode
Yeah.
out of the front.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, think Fallout 4, the scrap cannon.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Gotcha,
much the
gotcha,
same
gotcha.
thing. So yeah, your plan is to sneak around back, wait for this robot to come by,
And
get
yeah, and
inside.
we'll follow it because if we follow in its tracks, you know, that's like Bardock's thinking to himself, well, they know that bit's secure because the tank tracks things on it. So if we stay behind it, why would they scan that area? It's literally just been swept.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
So let's see how bad this goes, and everyone roll me a stealth
Oh god.
or a sneak rather.
Snake, yeah.
Snake. Is that?
Snake, a
What do I
snake.
have? Where is it? Snake. Oh, okay.
Do we get any bonuses for the fact that I fucking pretty much know where?
You know what? Yes, because you just nailed that, I'll give everyone an extra +1 die.
Oh.
Sweet. Okay.
I will roll
What?
I'll roll a d6.
I have an
That's my
agility of 1, and I succeeded because of that +1 die.
There you go.
Nice.
Sweating it.
Oh, can I do anything to carry Ivona?
Yes,
As I go-
actually, I believe you can. I believe you can help someone be stealthy. Let me double check for you. Sneak when you get a bonus.
She's probably too distracted thinking about what kind of drug she could concoct on the fly to make Humphrey happy.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, when setting up a sneak, so when you. Oh. Yeah, so I'll give you an option because it's you that did it.
Ooh.
If you, so you can either help her be stealthy, or you can be so stealthy that you set yourself up to do more damage to whatever you attack.
No, I'm gonna help her.
I could
Okay,
help
For
her.
once, I'm gonna help her because I'd rather we made it a little bit further because there's the difference between sort of like starting trouble on like at the door when you're trying to get into a bar, and there's starting trouble once you've managed to worm your way onto the center stage and have a microphone.
That's true.
There's a difference, and that's what I'm going for.
That's true. And then everyone else seems to have succeeded. Okay.
Thank you, Aaron.
So you guys get all the way up behind you, sneak out wide, you come back around, you get into the tank tracks of this massive sentinel creature, and you're slowly following behind. You can hear its like gears and servos turning. It's helping you with your stealthiness. You know, you can hear that. No one can hear you crunching on twigs and scrap metal. Everyone has their weapons ready and loaded. You guys follow this thing around, and then go ahead, Bardock. What happens?
I just need to. Can I make some kind of comprehension thing to see if I can figure out what is powering that?
You can absolutely go ahead and roll me a comprehend.
Okay, cool. Because if this shit goes south, I'd really like to be able to shut that thing down and then steal it.
Yeah.
So, comprehend is. Well, any bonuses for being right up its ass without it knowing?
No, because you've never seen anything like it before. Actually, you know what?
Well,
You
I
did
could-
dismantle the robot, so yeah.
Could I
do.
could I assist him because he helped me? I just imagined that Ivana was about to stumble and Bardock helped her from or prevented
Yeah.
her from falling over, and then he probably starts to mumble about that thing and
Yeah, you guys
So-
can both roll comprehend at that point.
keep forgetting what I have for comprehend. Okay,
So Josh, that's that's your last roll.
Yes!
Wow.
hold on.
Yes.
Wow.
I love the fear that is entering Mike's voice. Yes.
We know all about it.
We are going to hijack a tank automaton.
Okay.
Why did I
So-
put this in my game?
Yeah. Like, why do I just keep making robots with laser guns?
Not
Just
at-
dismantle them. Just do
Not
whatever
at my
you guys want.
table.
Just do whatever you guys want. So you can see that on these things, apart from the tank tracks, it appears to be a central column of gears and cogs in this thing that controls the servos in the upper torso. And as you're slowly following behind it, you can see a series of wires that go in between the main torso down this column with lights. So you think that it works kind of like a human or a mutant spinal column. And you're pretty sure if you can disable the central column, you can disable the top half of this thing, and you know, have the bottom half still work. Ivona, you are less mechanically inclined, but you notice that on this monstrosity of a monster here, it appears to have both of its arms are different kinds of guns. There appears to be a similar laser rifle to what Petrenko has recently acquired, but larger. There appears to be a very similar attachment on the other arm that keeps arcing electricity in between them, very similar to what Bardock has attached to his machete that he thinks is a laser machete or a lightning machete. And you can see that it has the laser rifle portion is actually two of them, and they rotate back and forth while they're reloading, so it can sort of rapid fire these laser rifles, or that's what you're assuming at least. It worked kind of like a revolver of rifles.
Oh,
I would imagine like both of them staring at different parts of that thing for a moment and looking at each other, and at the same time just start babbling in excitement of what they found out, what they realized. Like, oh my god!
but very quietly.
Yes, very quietly, of course. More like
Very
with hand
stealthily.
gestures and like.
Excited
Oh.
noises.
Yeah, and I'm going to look at all that, and I'll
Immediately
point out
break
to people-
stealth and run over to it.
No, I'm like, no, I'll just turn to everyone else and I'll just say, like, if shit gets really, really intense, see those cogs? And Bardock just pulls out his wrench. I'm a jury rig it, and we're gonna ride out of here, okay?
Would that work?
If it gets to the point where that's the best option, why the fuck not?
All
We're
right.
just
Hijack an
gonna have,
actual
like-
robot.
You're gonna have like 5-minute sessions before combat where people are selecting from the things that you're spoon feeding them. Like, here are the weapons that you can.
Yeah. It's like the
It's like the
episode, it's like that
Matrix.
scene in the Matrix when
Yeah.
all the guns come down. I'll take all of these. All I can think of is Josh is the movie Triple X. It's like, I want all these guns in that car. Okay,
I
I'll
just
put it in there.
like I walk through a metal detector. Mike stops me. I open my jacket, and it's just sixes everywhere. And
Just come on
holy
in.
shit! And it's-
Just
no,
come on in.
yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are all successful at sneaking past. You guys learn a little bit about this Sentinel robot. You get to the base of this tower, and you guys have positioned yourself behind all kinds of scrap heaps, busted up pieces of debris, detritus from this fallen skywheel. You can see that there are 4 central spokes. There are like arcs of electricity going back and forth, so you know that this thing is broken. You're not really sure if it's beyond repair, but these metal creatures seem to be actively repairing it, so at least they think it can be repaired. You don't see any people. You don't see any animals here, like any mutants. You don't see any mutant animals. It just seems to be the robots. And from what you guys can hear, now that you're at the base of this thing, the humanoid robots are vocally commanding the other robots to do things. You actually hear robotic voices as they are issuing commands and telling things to move things here to here. They're not like looking at any one robot and telling them to do things. They're just vocally issuing commands, and somehow something knows to grab it and move it to another location.
Do they
so
always use
somehow,
the same commands?
as far as what? It's usually like move this to here,
Okay.
go collect this. We need, a flux capacitor. Like there's like sciencey
Yeah.
words that you're not
Yeah.
really sure what
Is
they
this the way they speak? Do they speak very literal to the point? Is there any like? Do they get annoyed in any way? Do they show any emotion?
are. No,
like,
it seems to be completely stock, no emotion. And what you can see on the smaller ones, like the thin framed ones, when they turn around, you can see that there is like a strange projection screen. There's some kind of glass on the face, and there is a poorly done, kind of scattered human-looking face or a mutant-looking face on there. It doesn't move when the mouth talks. It doesn't actually, like, it just voice comes out of it. It just looks like there's a face on there as well.
Are they different, the faces?
No, they are all identical faces.
Okay. As this thing hit the ground, I know they've been doing repairs. How far along are they to the effect of, is there any breaches in the hull, the skin of this thing that we can get through?
Absolutely. There is this main central column that is a huge hull breach that you can easily get into, and there are several other ones that if you can climb up to, you can absolutely get inside.
That's a good plan, I think.
Climbing up to one of the hull breaches?
Yeah. Take us out of line of sight from some of these things.
You said there was loads of machine parts around?
Yes.
What about cabling?
Sure.
Cool. In which case, Bardock being semi-lizard and quite good at climbing and stuff, I'm gonna sort of like grab some cabling and just say, well, I'll hop up there, secure this line, and then you fucking jimmy up the rope, and Bob's your uncle, we're sorted. Alright.
Cool. Bardock, go ahead and make me a move check.
Okay, he says, talking big, but not
Talking
actually
big and rolling zeros.
not actually checking his seat.
That's
Just
the
see if he's
story of
any
this
good at
game,
it.
though, isn't it? I will do this cool thing. Oh.
Like you just assume I'm great at moving because I'm a lizard, but I didn't put any stats in moving.
No, I did. So that's cool. Okay, cool. I will do with the climbing. And
5 sixes.
any bonuses from the? Is it easy to climb or?
You know what? On the picture, you tell me where you're going to climb to. Assume that there is a hole on each one of these spokes. This being the primary hole they keep going in.
Okay.
This would be the easiest to get to, but also the most active. You see other things kind of going over there.
Ah, okay. In which case, I'm gonna go for this one.
Okay. Yeah. So then, that's fairly easy. So I'll give you a +1.
Cool. So going away from some of the activity. So this is a. I missed a 1. Oh goddamn! I've got 1 extra because I didn't put it in.
Do you want to push?
Hold on.
Do you
No.
want to push?
No, because I've already
No.
got
Are
2.
you
Do you want to die?
You sure? You can roll. You re-roll like what? 7, 9. You re-roll 9 dice. You only got to keep the 1.
It's like when parents like,
2
you're
ones.
pushing it now. You're really pushing it now.
You keep 2 1s. You take 2 agility damage. But you'll be able to re-roll 9 dice.
Yeah, but for every one of them that's a 1, I take additional damage.
What?
You remember this?
Where
remember
feels
this?
bad.
When you straight up didn't explain that to me the first time I ever pushed a dice, and it killed me for an episode and a half.
What? That doesn't sound like anything I would ever do to you, Josh.
You're just
I
slightly
love playing with
unconscious.
you.
It was just, you were fine. We were
You
dragging
were
you.
drugged up. You were good.
Yeah, and then
I carried your ass over stage. I threw you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
he saved your life. Humphrey, you owe your life to Humphrey. Yeah, so you guys see several. Actually, you know what? Because you failed, I'll take a stealth, a sneak check, please.
Cool.
So you go, you grab a heap of cable, you kind of strap it around yourself like a bandolier, and you start trying to scale this area. But you quickly realize that all of these panes here that you're trying to scale up are some kind of sheer glass-like surface, and you're not able to find purchase on them as you're trying to scale up there. And you slip down a few times. One of the times you sort of break one, and it like leaves hanging there, and it makes like a wrenching noise. Let's see if anyone hears you.
I have an ability. I don't know. I genuinely, I put this on my thing. The mutation, the lizard mutation, gives me the ability to mimic my surroundings, and I haven't used it yet. And I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mutation points because I haven't used a single one so far.
Okay.
So I'd like to do that, but I don't have in front of me what it does.
Cool. So your amphibian thing, I don't.
It's
think
not
you have
amphibian.
that.
It's reptilian skin or chameleon skin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So go ahead and spend one mutation point, and then I'll find out what the hell that does. What the hell
Cool.
is your ability? Reptilian?
Yeah.
Did we make that up? Is that a thing you made up?
You gave it to me.
Yeah, you have amphibian. I think is your skill.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Let's find out. Let's double check here. Oh no, reptilian. I was wrong. We do have reptilian. Yeah, Trainsy has.
I have amphibian
yeah.
and sonar.
Yeah. So change the color of your skin like a chameleon. You automatically succeed at a sneak roll, and attacks performed against you in total darkness. You need to be mostly naked. The effects last for a few minutes. So yeah, spend one MP, one MP, and roll me a d6. See how F you get.
6.
Oh, that's a good one. That's the best you can roll. So the mutation gets supercharged. You gain back the MP you just spent, and you can immediately, in the same turn, activate the same mutation again. So you can rapid fire your cloaking ability twice. So you use it twice for free, and then quickly clamber up there. You're completely invisible. You match the glass surroundings. So yeah, you get up there, and how do you want to do? What do you want to do with these cables? Just tie them on and let everyone else climb up there?
I think honestly, first I'm gonna see what I've just climbed into, because I'm now completely invisible, so I might as well scout in the limited time I have before I just hey guys, all climb up. Ignore the 50 guys that are surrounding me with guns. Just climb up. It'll be fine. Yeah.
So you get up there. You see one of the holes behind this area, right here on where the spokes touch the wheel. So you see inside. Once you get inside there, it looks like a strange hallway that curves around. Much like the picture, much like a wheel. There's all kinds of weird panels that light up and blink on the walls. There's words and there's text you don't understand that's just scrolling across screens. System diagnostic scans, things like that. There are hoses and pipes that are just leaking some kind of mist, some dripping oil. There are the most shocking and terrifying thing you see, besides just this ample amount of technology that you don't understand and is completely foreign to you, is on the ground against one of the panels, slumped up against the wall, is a desiccated human corpse that just seems to be completely drained of anything. You're not sure if it's starvation or hunger that it died from. There doesn't seem to be any external wounds. And as you kind of walk in and start looking around, as you look down the hallway, because of the way that the hallway falls, you actually see several more corpses just sort of falling on top of each other in the crash. You look up the hallway and you see several more have just gotten stuck and jammed into things, but it appears to have been they don't look like mutants, although they do look like human raisins at this point, so you're not really sure if they could have been mutants, but they look like they're all dead, and they've been dead for quite some time.
Raisin mutation is one of the best mutations in the game, so
it's one of the tastiest.
Yeah. So I'm going to tie the cables onto something, something that looks like it will hold.
Yep.
Check, give it a tug to check, and then very gently feed the cables down. And I'm going to just assume that everyone's going to make it up fine, and no one's going to fuck this up.
Yep.
And I'm gonna have a look around.
Okay.
I presume there's no artificial gravity, so this is you're gonna have
to clamber up and climb this thing, unless you get into one of the main spokes, in which case it'll be easier to.
We've already established that I'm phenomenal at climbing, so that's fine.
Yep. You're aces at climbing. Yeah, it's pretty great stuff. So as you climb, are you climbing up or are you climbing down?
Up. Definitely up.
So as you climb up, the first thing that you get to, you clamber up, past these corpses. You notice that the corpses are all wearing the same clothing. They all have white coats on them. They have different clothing underneath, but they're all wearing a similar white jacket. You get to up past some of these pipes, and there is a long hallway that leads down what you can presume as one of the spokes in this wheel. The rest of you see Bardock clamber up the side, you see him fall, then you don't see him at all, and then you see a bunch of cables get thrown out the side of this thing. What do you guys want to do?
Oh, well, I guess that's our invitation to go up there.
I guess
should
so.
Should I go first, or
Yeah, Humphrey, you're strong.
can I
Might
Can
be
I
a bear
use-
up there.
either a strength check or move, or
No, I'm gonna let you guys just get up there because he's securely tied that stuff up there, and
Okay.
there's ropes now. It's not gonna be that
Gotcha.
dangerous for you to climb up. And he's aces at jury rig. He's actually good at that, so I'm sure
Yeah.
he actually secured the ropes.
Actually
and-
good.
I currently have like a 9 in jury
Yeah.
rig. Insane.
To be fair, you also had like a 9 in climbing, and that failed you. So yeah, you guys all are able to get up there, and you see the same sight. There's just so Petrenko, you're like repulsed because there's just so much what is clearly
Ugh.
technology that you don't understand.
Gross.
There are metal things moving around. There's all kinds of like lab equipment all over here. Yeah,
It's
this
so
was clearly
gross.
like things you just don't understand, but you know that
Everything's
it's
so
technology. and
clean.
It's different. Everything is so functional. And Humphrey, they're not animals, but you do see dead people. Several.
Well, that's
dead
okay
people.
then.
Yeah.
guys, and like helping everybody up through the hole that's coming through.
Yeah, I jump up.
Just above you, you can see a what looks like a ghost because there's just a lab jacket that's floating in the air.
Are you wearing it now? Is that what you're doing?
I'm invisible, but wearing a lab jacket. Like,
Yeah.
ooh.
So he's perfectly matched
Ivana
his
is going to
scales to look like the lab
squeal and
jacket,
jump
and he's
back.
just in the lab jacket.
He
doing
does.
I just start
Something is
climbing.
attacking us.
I start climbing down.
He's
Like,
done.
oh no,
Get away.
not today. No, no,
No,
I'll
sir.
see you
I'm
guys.
just gonna go talk to the robots. I'm
Yeah,
Michelle.
I'm gonna-
Guys. I found some stuff. And dead,
Okay.
dead
Oh,
people.
damn it, Bardock. Humphrey, come back. It's just Bardock.
I found a spoke. One of the spokes. I can get into it. There's a corridor in there. What the fuck is all this stuff?
Technology.
By the way, sorry, go ahead.
I just say technology in a disdainful tone.
I believe Ivona can read a little bit.
Mm,
Due to your business, can I try
you
and
can
see
comprehend. Yeah, roll me a
All right.
comprehend and see if you can understand some of these words.
if I... Third time rolling comprehend. Forgotten again what I have. Okay. 1, 4...
What are the rest of you guys doing?
I would
Bardock
take
is
a
looking
quick
for
look around.
something.
That's it. You just stop. Just looking for something. He doesn't know what it is yet. You're looking for
I'll
it.
take a quick look around. Probably more sort of securing the perimeter than looking for stuff.
Okay, so you
Can
kind
I-
of poke your head out of the hole with like your rifle and you look around. Roll me a scout, Petrenko. And Humphrey, what are you doing?
Can I examine the corpses to see how, like, if there's any differing method of how they died?
You can. Roll me comprehend. Or heal if you have it. Whichever one you think you're better at.
Roll a 1.
Roll all zeros.
Nope.
Okay, cool. So Ivona, you are reading
Okay, cool.
there's like several screens that have lights flashing, words flashing across them. You can read several of them. Not all of them make you. I mean, you can read most of them, but not all of them make any sense to you. The things you can read are Project Eden is one that sticks out to you. You can read total oxygen loss. You see one that talks about storage, and it says food supply 0, water supply 0, oxygen minimal, and then you have several doctors' names in there. This is like Doctor something, Doctor other, something,
Zeus.
scientist something, engineer. So it looks like a roster, a crew roster.
Yeah, so she's walking around and sort of slowly reading it out loud. And so going Project Eden. And then she's just going to continue like that until she comes to the food and water information and sort of she looks sad and said,
I'm not sure if we're going to find anything here. I mean, when it comes to water and food, because it says here that they had none, at least not when they crashed, it seems.
Right. Hear me out. This is like tech and shit. And my point is, how much easier would it be to find tech, food and water and shit if they had some tech that could help with that. I'm gonna have a look around the rest of the place, and Mike.
Mhm.
Bardock is looking for something that takes his interest. So I'm just gonna roll, and if I succeed, tell me a Bardock-like thing that I find.
Okay.
That's all. I just want a
Yeah,
Bardock.
you roll a scout, and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, Petrenko, you have your rifle trained. You're kind of squatted down and poking out of the hole you guys climbed in through. And it appears to you that no one has taken any notice of you. All of the humanoid figures are still doing exactly what they were doing. The Sentinel is still making circles, and all of the other drones are either going in that central column or they're adding things to a pile on the right-hand side. No one seems to have spotted you guys in your little porthole. So Bardock, you are in the opening to that hallway, and you're like looking around. You're kind of looking back and forth, talking to them, looking back and forth, and you don't see anything that like really grabs your attention as like something you can Bardock with. But you do see lights coming from down the hallway.
Are they moving?
They are not moving, but they are flashing on and off red and green lights.
Am I still camo at this point?
You are still camo. Yeah, you have like, because you double used it, we'll say you have like 10 minutes of invisibility, except you look like you have a lab coat on.
Yeah, cool. So Bardock is like, starts walking, realizes he's got the lab coat still on, hangs it on, like he hangs it on a lever that is probably, it's like warning, pulling this lever will self-destruct the entire space station.
Yeah.
He just hangs the coat on it without realizing, and he's gonna head down the corridor super sneaky to see what he can see.
Sure. As soon as you like lean on the lever, you start to like pull it a little bit, and you can hear one of the cables outside and disconnect the spoke from the outer ring. You sort of like put it back up, and you proceed down this corridor. The rest of you, so you see the nothing take off and hold a lab coat and put it down, and then you can kind of hear Bardock grumble down the hallway. Do you guys follow him, or are you guys still enamored with the corpses and the screens, the flashing light screens? Granted, you still can't see Bardock now that he has the lab coat off.
I think that for a moment, Ivona would sort of squat down next to Petrenko, sort of girl-like resting her hat in her hands and then her elbows on her knees, say,
So if we would really go and try to make this ours, does that mean that we have to sabotage it in any way?
Well, if it's has the power to destroy our friends, the animals, or maybe even the Ark, then I think we take what we can and blow it up on the way out.
But if we blow it up, we could never live in it.
I personally have no wish to live in a place like this.
I mean, what if it's just not simply a weapon? What if there's more to it?
Like what?
Like what?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that Paradise place has to have some sort of technology that supports life over there. Maybe they got it from here.
Doesn't seem like there's much life here, though.
I know,
point
but
the bodies.
they crash landed. Maybe they got information from here, or they have ideas how to create systems that work.
It could be.
It's possible.
I don't really know how to. I mean, I'm more of an emotional guy. I don't really understand the technologies, but could be worth investigating. But if it's a weapon, then I agree. Should blow it up. I look over at Bardock.
Yeah, Bardock.
Like finally in agreement with something that
Yeah.
that might align with him.
Bardock,
Well, I don't think Bardock would be too happy if we blow this thing up.
You just see like a lab coat swinging on a handle.
You just assume it's still Bardock.
Where did he go? I think he went further down the hallway. Maybe we shouldn't let him out of our sight
I
for
agree.
too long.
Yeah, I'm like, shit. Bardock, come back. Bardock.
Hey, Bardock.
That moment when
wait, please wait.
I do that thing where you're calling for your kid. Bardock, come here. Come here, boy.
Bardock's
you mean?
fully
Tell me your
naked
dog,
for
I
full
guess,
immersion.
I really want Petrenko to lean on something, a speaker, a mic to click on, and just like, Will the owner of one punk rock lizard with a stupid British accent please report to a massive breach at the side of the station where he is waiting?
And in the background, you hear explosions and people screaming.
Pretty much.
Dad.
Oh.
I don't want to go yet.
Yeah, so Bardock, you are scrambling down this hallway with your sweet lizard powers. You get to the end, still invisible, where you can see this room. This room is full of even more technology than that hallway was full of. There are, granted, it's all kind of on its side at an awkward angle, but there are several tables that appear to be bolted into the ground, 4 in total. There are computers. I guess there are tables with sort of robotics on them with flashing screens, also bolted to the walls. And you see, let me see here. You see this thing floating around in there. There you go. Show to everybody. You see that floating around in there, and it's sort of like looking at one of the tables. And as you look to the table, you see strapped to it, also kind of at like a gravitational angle. It's at like it's on its side. It's kind of like stuck there. They have it like strapped down. Is one of the dog creatures, one of the mutant dogs, kind of like Callisto, but a dog, not a wolf. And you can see that he has been completely severed from clavicle to navel and is splayed open. And they are this whatever this flying thing is sort of like taking things out of him and putting them in jars, and then moving and putting that over there, then all the way back and going back in there, and is clearly examining whatever the hell this thing is. So that's what.
How heavy does it look?
How heavy does the flying contraption look? I mean, you could jump on it and pull it to the ground if you were so inclined.
Could I now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, if that's a thing you were aiming to do, you could. I mean, you could attempt to jump on it and pull it.
I'm all this time calling Bardock.
Yeah. Are you proceeding down the hallway?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try
So you guys had your discussion. You guys like clamber up to the hallway, and you see like kind of like the Predator when you guys kind of like see through him all weird. At the very end of the hallway, you guys are at the front of it. You guys can see this weird glimmer that you assume is Bardock, and he looks like hunched down and intent on looking at something inside this room.
You can see like a tail wagging.
Yeah. You see a faster glimmer in the thing.
Oh no, I think he's getting excited about something. That's usually not a good sign.
Are there any more bodies nearby?
The humanoid bodies? There absolutely are. In fact, you see there are 2 more like stuck in the piping on the walls. Cool. Here they seem to have fallen down.
I grab like the lab coat off one of them, and I'm just gonna search him real quick for anything they were carrying as I'm invisible. Cause
sure. So go ahead. So yeah, you grab the lab coat, you put it on. The first thing you notice is that just like the last lab coat you had, there's a swinging name tag on it. And you.
I'm not putting it on. This is my catching bag.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. So as soon as you pick it up, you notice the swinging name badge that's strapped to it, and you start going through its pockets, and there's a strange wooden rod that has a piece of rubber at the end. There is a metal piece that you can click, and it's very amusing for a few seconds. But no, there doesn't appear to be anything very useful on this. You reach around to the back side of it, and there is a looks like an animal hide flap that opens up, and you can see several plastic cards in there, one of which looks very similar to his name badge.
Cool.
And
I take the animal hide because hide's good. And I got his, and I look over, and as I am invisible and I get advantages for being invisible, I'm going to draw my machete, and I'm going to take the just unduct tape the taser from it.
Okay.
Grab the lab coat in one hand, the taser in the other hand, and I'm going to jump on this thing, quickly put a lab coat over it, and then taser it, because it's a machine, and they don't like being tasered. Yay.
Okay.
Hey, man.
Go ahead and make me...
Where'd you go, man?
Go ahead and make me a fight. Okay. With your +2 bonus from your taser.
Make me a fight.
And I'll give you a +2 bonus for being invisible.
Cool. Okay.
So you have an extra +4 to fight this thing to the ground.
So this is plus.
The rest of you are about halfway down the hallway when you see a lab coat just start floating, and then you see a. Where were you hiding the machete?
I don't want to
You were mostly naked. Where were you hiding this?
But it's like clenching the entire
just
time.
clench.
Yeah.
Strong clench.
Under his tail pouch.
No.
So-
Think about it this way. If I have it under my arm and just hold my arm there, you can't see it.
Sure. Okay. So you see a lab coat get picked up. You see a machete come out of nowhere, and then a taser is ripped off the machete, and then you see the lab coat and the taser leap into the air as you guys are sort of moving quickly down the hallway to stop Bardock from doing whatever he's about to do. And you just roll 2 successes?
Yeah.
Is that what has happened?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So how much damage does the taser do?
You've never really specified, to be honest.
I think, did I not give you the taser as a weapon?
I know you told me some. You were like, here's some bullshit. thing."
Cool. The taser does 2 weapon damage. So.
And it does
Oh yeah,
confusion.
stun baton.
Yeah.
It's on you. Yeah, there you go. Stun baton.
Yeah.
+2 to fight. Does 1 damage. There you go. And does confusion damage. So this is a robot. So we won't do confusion damage. We'll actually do strength damage. Do you want to double the damage with your extra 1, or do you want to anything else you want to do?
No, I like my plan is to just incapacitate the fuck out of
Okay.
this thing. That's a medical drone, and we need that. So dibs.
That's true. So you sort of like fan out the jacket, like you're trying to attract the bull. You leap forward, wrap it around, and then just as it's crashing loudly to the ground. All of you see this. You see something leap out of the air with a big white sack. Wrap this medical
I
droid.
had
You
a
hear
dollar
clang,
for every
crunch,
time.
clang, clang, clang as it goes down, and you hear like the buzzing and buzzing of taser strikes. You can assume, Petrenko, that whatever just happened
I start
got
running.
Bardocked.
I start running. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it is, but I know something somewhere in the universe has been Bardocked. And
Has it stopped moving?
It has stopped moving.
How
You
long is
taser
this
this thing into
corridor,
submission.
man?
There's like utter silence for a few moments, and then you just hear come from somewhere below.
No.
So as you guys get in, you spill into the room. You see the same thing. There's technology everywhere. There's these 4 platforms like bolted to the ground. One of them has a dog splayed out and like dissected, and pieces coming out of him. Humphrey, you notice this first, as it is a dog person, and it's kind of like an animal. Petrenko, you are immediately looking for Bardock. You see a white sack on the ground being tasered, and you just see the taser just continuously like and as it's happening, Bardock just starts to shimmers back into a nude Bardock form, and you just see him sitting on top of the white lab coat covered robot.
I see
Zapping.
all of this, and I immediately hold responsible Bardock for every single thing which has happened in the room.
Yeah.
The dog, the lab coat.
Bardock reappears, and he's just jammed the taser button on, so it's constantly tasing this thing.
Yeah.
And is currently, like, as he shimmers back into, he's feigning incredible interest in like a random panel. It's like the only blank panel here, and he's just looking at it, like pondering it, and he just looks up and just like, that was there when I got here.
It's actually off and cracked.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah, you've managed to like take the duct tape and tape it to the taser and secure the button down.
Yeah.
Just the continuous tase on the robot. Perfect.
And I go over and just pick it up nonchalantly, like take the taser back and pocket it, just put it back on my belt, and like, so, you guys find anything?
What? That's actually, that's as far
Yes,
as the
what
question
did you
goes.
find? What did you find?
No, I'm asking you. I found this, and I don't know what any of this is. I gesture around me at
It's
the
a dead dog thing. That's a mutt, a mongrel sort of disgusting creature.
Did the robot do this?
How long was it?
I
there?
mean, the whole.
Oh no! You see that? That's mine. He points to that, and he's sort of like gonna hoist it and just.
That's
yes.
fine. I'm not gonna take it.
But Ivona starts looking around, starting for anything that could be medicine, drugs, anything in pill form, liquid.
Roll me comprehend.
Can I see what happened to the dog?
You
I
can.
understand?
Roll me either a comprehend or a heal.
I'm gonna search my new friend.
Can I get any bonuses?
Um,
Use the goggles.
Yeah, I'll give you a +1 because you are a known drug peddler, so you might have some
Alright.
idea of what some of the things are.
Cool.
I failed my 3 last rolls, so I'm just like the most uninteresting person.
Yes.
Oh, okay, this is a dog. Oh, okay. That's...
I wonder what happened to the dog. I think the dog got cut. He got a cut on his chest. So that's what happened.
Yeah, Humphrey came close him.
Yeah, so Humphrey, you know, like you kind of like get up there, and because it's at an angle, the dog is kind of strapped and hanging sideways. You kind of like climb up there, and you can see that the dog has been cut from the top of its neck down to like its belly button area, and it's open. There are like several jars and like containers that have bits of inside on the outside, and you're pretty sure that whatever this thing was, this was doing experiments on it. If whatever Bardock says is correct, this was experimenting on it or trying to figure out what it was.
Can I roll a jury rig to see if I can sort of disassemble parts of this without breaking it and figure out what I can do with this?
You can roll two separate. You can roll a jury rig to do that, and then you can roll a comprehend to figure out if you know what you just did.
Okay.
Ivona, however, you find all manner of things. There are several secure cabinets. They're all in like cupboards that have like locks on them that you can easily break through, or have Bardock jury rig. But you can see through this little glass slits on them. There are pill bottles. There are small vials. A lot of the vials are broken, but there are some liquid contents and things. There's what is a refrigerator that has all manner of specimen inside of it. There's like blood bags. You're not really sure what those are, but they're containing this red liquid in there. Plastic tubing. So you're pretty sure that you don't know what all this stuff does, but you know it could be drugs, or you could tell people that it's drugs. You know enough.
I
to
take
convince
as
someone else
much
to use
as I can.
Sure. You will absolutely rattle.
I take. You're not just like shooting up a load of stuff right now. You mean gather, right? I take all of the drugs immediately.
You should know by now that I have a different kind of lab rat, and that person might be quite familiar to you. I'm not testing things on myself unless it's an EpiPen.
I'm 90% sure he will be completely unfamiliar. It's just a strange drug-addled lizard. I rolled a 2 to jury rig.
2 successes. Yeah. So you easily do. So you notice that the right arm of this thing is like a 3-fingered hand. Like you saw it grabbing pieces of the dog and putting it out. The other hand is plastic tubing that has different components that come out of it.
Ooh.
One of which is another one of those regen pens that you saw Ivona. I believe Ivona, you used it. Mm-hmm. You see that Ivona had. You see there are several like medical, like scalpel. There is some kind of tubing that you like as you're pulling it out. It squirts out some gel, and the gel gets on you for a second, and it like burns your finger where it gets on you. You're not sure what it does, but you know that's what it did to you. And you also take note that there are 3 tiny rockets on the bottom of it. That's what was propelling it up.
Be calm, Bardock.
Mike,
Yes.
I'd like to stop the game here and just announce to you just to remind you that you've just put rockets in the game, and if you want to, go back in time and just stop that terrible decision.
No, it's already happened. I'm just
Like
gonna let it go.
Bardock is sitting on the ground, nostrils flaring. He's like trying to contain himself, like shaking.
So you like get the hand done, and you sort of like turn towards whatever the flying mechanism was, and as you're like tinkering with one, you see it like, and then fire shoots out of it, and you're like, oh shit, or whatever Bardock would say, which is probably oh shit. So you see that.
Okay. Oh no, that's wrong. And this comprehend.
Petrenko, what are you doing? Surveying the scene.
Petrenko is, quite disgusted by the technology around him, doesn't really like it, but I think he sees some of the benefits in it. Mostly he's worried about like security most of the time, but that seems to not be an issue. Is it clear? It's clear that the robot thing killed the dog, right?
It's clear that Bardock did not kill the dog.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I was just interested in. Yeah. Okay.
Like even Bardock, like if you ask him, like
Yeah,
the
So
dog-
it's too neatly done.
I think
Yeah, you can
Petrenko
see
is
exactly. You can see it's a precision cut, and Bardock is anything but precise.
Yeah, I think he was more worried that if it wasn't Petrenko and if it wasn't, if it wasn't Bardock and it wasn't a robot, then what was it?
yeah.
He will. Is there anything weaponized looking around here? Because he does have a laser gun. He has quite like that. I guess probably a scout or some shit. Or
Yeah. So go ahead and roll me. Roll me a scout.
While this is happening, I'm going to hand an arm to Ivona, with like a load of injectors and stuff on it, including one of those regen pens, and I'll like wrap it up in like I'll basically like cut the sleeve off this lab jacket, wrap it up carefully, and hand it to you, and say, "Oh, that looks like drugs and medical shit and all that jazz." And and you probably get a kick out of this. And he hands you a bunch of scalpels and stuff, and then he's gonna try and take off as much like that looks like it could be used to hurt us. And then potentially at some point we're gonna reboot this thing, but without it being a giant rocket propelled scalpel machine. Because fuck that.
And have you dismounted the rockets as well?
No, I'm gonna leave the rockets on for now.
Okay. So Ivona, you have this arm that has at least one regen pen in there still. Some other device that burns when you touch it. It's like a little gel that comes out that burns when you touch it. And the rest of it looks like scalpels and medical grade equipment.
Yeah, she's gonna keep a couple of the scalpels and hide them in her garter-like construction, where she usually keeps her food rations. And then when she sees the EpiPen, she looks quite happy about that, and then she looks at the others and say,
Who of you boys could do with a shot? And I mean not with a happy go fuzzy shot. I actually mean make you feel. That still sounds like I'm giving the drugs, which I'm technically am. Anybody feeling weaker than usually? Since we started to travel. Well, maybe
I'll let you
not
inject
as
me,
any-
Sam.
I'm fine.
That's so we keep
as
it.
in out of character has. I mean, all
No,
of you
I don't think
have
so.
lost permanent.
I haven't.
Humphrey has.
Yeah, I don't think I have. Oh, my agility is free. Actually, you're right.
My strength is affected by some rot right now. I'm dirty.
Dirty boy.
Dirty.
Then she's probably going to fiddle with it and then take it out and sort of look at it and say,
Well, Humphrey, you haven't been looking too good.
and
Oh, what's that? What's that over there? Look at that, Humphrey.
and then when he hopefully looks away, she just gonna
Just jab him.
eject him. So no, Trainsy, it's all good. The permanent
you hit me with
points
the pen?
that you
Oh, okay. I thought you
I
were
know,
going
I
for
know.
like.
Over there.
You're like, look over there, and then you like bite
That
into
was-
my back on some rot, and you're like, nom.
No, that was my idea before Bardock found the second EpiPen. I would have tracked you up.
Oh, you'll be fine. It feels like a penicillin shot. You just feel it
Damn.
like slowly go through you, but then you eventually feel better, and you've healed all of your permanent damage.
Dang.
As for you, Petrenko, so you're kind of looking around this room, a little disgusted at all the technology. You see Bardock taking apart a robot. You see Petra fueling her drug habits. And you kind of see there's another door on the opposite side. You kind of clamber over to pass all the tables and out of the door. And this door opens up into a central room, like a circular room. And there is a room to the north of you, a room to the south of you, and a room across to the east of you. All of the doors are closed except for the room to the east of you. That slopes kind of down. And in that room, you can see one of the man-shaped robots sort of tinkering on computers. It hasn't noticed you yet, but the door is open and you can see it.
I'm trying to think what my version of Tango would be. something apocalyptic. I don't know.
Scabber sighted.
Yeah, something.
Tango down.
Something ridiculous. Yeah, Tango down.
Robot down.
Robo down.
Soap.
Gas.
Gaz. Oh no.
Hello,
No, I
Julie.
miss Gaz.
Too soon.
Yeah, I say, we've got one. Look, over there. I'm going to point over that thing. It hasn't seen us yet.
Reznov.
Yeah, everyone can kind of
Remember,
see.
no rush.
Once you point it out, everyone can kind of see that there is one of the mandroids sort of doing things.
The mandroids.
Yeah.
That's what I want to call it, the mandroids.
Yeah. Mandroid spotted.
Yeah.
You see it walking upright, and you see it like typing on these angled computers, and it seems to be accessing something, but it seems to be doing it with some modicum of skill. It seems to know what it's doing.
So it's completely different to us.
I'm going to cautiously approach with my gun raised and kind of call out to it. You! Android.
So Ivona is sort of like heavily peeking around from behind.
Mandroid.
I love it. So up until now, we've all been super stealthy, but Petrenko walks over to it with a gun and says, "You."
Perfect. Wonderful. I like it. Yeah. So you see this thing sort of turn towards you, and it has a wider torso than the rest of them. It seems to have slightly more like its legs are thicker, its arms are thicker. From what you can tell, its arms don't look like weapons; they look like hands. And the face doesn't have a glass panel with an actual face. It looks kind of like a robot face. It doesn't have the humanoid-looking glass plate there. It turns to you, and he says, "Oh, we have intruders. What are you doing here?"
Oh.
So,
Intruders.
Oh yeah, we broke in. I've just remembered that we're not supposed to be here, and I've announced myself.
Go ahead, Humphrey.
no, I was like, it looks like it has a robot face. Was very descriptive.
So
robot face.
you just
It looks like Optimus Prime.
you were
Shut up,
just
Prime.
taking that chance to say some shit. Okay.
Go ahead, sorry.
You know, it's real hot here.
When you
I'm
get
having
called
some
out on
fucking-
saying a name comments to my
Hey, this is the guy that was like, look at the sad lake for 5 minutes into Mitch during his campaign.
You know what?
And
know
now
what?
we have robot face,
I
so
want to show you what a robot face looks like. God damn it! Fucking
grab
picture
the
of this guy.
hey duck.
Yeah, let me get a picture of it and draw you a robot face.
Okay.
Right on the
Sorry,
screen.
Petrenko. Continue with role playing and with the robot face creature.
Continue progressing the story forward.
Thanks,
you know.
man. Yeah, it's so good, so good. It's not like it's a finale. I'll I'll look at the creature and I say, with good question. We're looking for information on this place. What is it? What's its primary function?
The primary function of this was to
excuse
sustain
me,
life in space.
Do you have a robo face or is it? It's difficult to say.
Racist! All the alarms go off immediately.
Pew, pew, pew. Klaxons fire. It looks to you and says, I'm not sure what a robot face is.
Do you know what the primary function of this place is?
He says, yes, it was to sustain life in space.
And then you hear from behind Petrenko,
Who are the intruders?
Us.
You are the intruders.
Do we have a problem now?
No, we don't have a problem. If we had a problem, this thing wouldn't still be talking, and it would be, well, several pieces around the floor like that dog. Hello,
His
Edmund.
stupid robot face.
Bardock climbs
That's what we call
up
them.
with like.
It's like tangos at Edmund's. Edmund spoiled.
Oh god.
Edmund down.
Right, so I'm going to like climb up to you guys with the scraps sort of like tied in with sort of makeshift knapsack around my back, and look at this.
Containing a robot.
Yeah, containing a robot. And I'm just looking at him, and I have a wrench, and I just say, "Is that more salvaged?"
You said
Yes,
to
yeah.
Petrenko?
Yeah, I point directly at this thing. I'm like, "Is that more salvage?"
No, Edmund is not salvage. He's our friend. He's going to
Who
help
the
us.
fuck is Edmund?
You're like, wait, an Edmund where? I'm gonna so I put my kind of hand up, like, don't shoot him yet. Where the primary purpose was to sustain life in space. Did you fall out of space or did you land here on purpose?
We crashed.
This don't look like an on-purpose landing.
We crashed.
Well, maybe they had intended to land, but it just didn't. It went wrong.
Why did you crash, and why are all the sustained people in space who were still alive very much fucked, like a raisin fucked?
Well, I believe that answers your question. The people in space were no longer sustained.
Terrifying.
And could no longer operate the station.
So,
Josh, that's not what raisins are for, buddy.
What was that?
That's not what raisins are for.
They weren't raisins in space, I assure you.
Those aren't beads. If you thought they were beads, no, wrong.
No. I look to I'm gonna walk over to Edmund because apparently we're friends now. So why would I be worried about it?
Sure.
I walk over to Edmund and I just say, "So, what's your job now that you failed and everything's fucking dead? Apart from us, who quite clearly aren't dead."
We can be the new crew.
Again, she was sort of speaking.
Yes.
Oh no! I don't know about that.
He looks
Someone
to you and
cut
says,
Trenko to death.
he looks to you and says, "We have not failed. Our prime directive was to ensure the safe function of the space station, Hugin 37117. The humans on board had piloted it in the event of catastrophic failure to return to Earth. However, they expired before entering the atmosphere, and well, we don't pilot the spacecraft. We are working to get it back on working order." What
In
are you?
space
Well, we're not in space now.
with people.
Well, that's not completely accurate, is it?
So when Eden is in working order, what does it do?
You see it like cock its head and say, when Eden is in working order, it performs experiments on animals. But this is not Eden. How do you know that name?
What is Project Eden?
How do you know that name?
I've read it.
Project Eden is a secure space intended to bring life back to Earth.
Is it paradise?
I wouldn't call it that. But at the same time, I'm not really sure what that could be.
Oh.
How do you intend to bring back life?
I don't. I intend to get the spaceship in working order and return.
Well, whoever ran Project Eden or run, how do they do that?
I don't know. I don't work at Project Eden.
Okay, right. You must know where Project Eden is.
I believe it's in the directory.
Where's the directory?
Can we open the
He
yellow
just motions-
pages to
he just
find it,
motions to
please?
an array of computers all around the room.
It says, find us Project Eden inside whatever that is and give it to us. Because I have never seen a computer, so I'm just like, there's a map in there somewhere that just has it. It's just the biggest file of facts I've ever seen in my life.
He looks to you and says, I warn you, if this is a hostile takeover, I will recall all of our drones.
Why would this be a hostile We haven't done anything hostile.
We're all
We're
very
having a
calm
conversation.
here. Very, very
Yeah.
calm.
Oh, well, in that case, and you just see him like...
Thanks,
like,
Edmund.
typing.
You're a good friend.
Oh, good. And he starts typing things on the. You see like maps come up all kinds of places. You see a very accurate zoomed out map of what you have, Petrenko. The stalker map you have. It has way more details. It's like Google Earth compared to something you drew as a pirate as a child. And you see like there's like locations marked. There is Gen Lab Alpha. There is Habitat Delta, Habitat Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, all through. And he says, I believe this one, and he points to one of them that is known as Habitat Delta, is what they call Project Eden.
Ah.
Bardock reaches to the wall and tries to remove the screen because that is a map, and he doesn't understand that it's a monitor. So he's just like, if I take this, then we will have this. So he tries and just can't get it off the wall, I presume.
Roll me a force, we'll find out.
So, Mike, if Will is understanding this correctly, this project here is to sustain life on Earth. Project Eden is something else? Or is it the other way around?
So Project Eden is to bring
like
life
a
back
repopulation.
yeah, like a repopulation.
It might even. What I was going to ask the way. So when he pointed at the map to show us where Delta, this Project Eden. No, sorry, the Delta thing. No, wait, that is Project Eden, right? Okay.
Yep.
Is that in the general direction where the animals sent us to go to?
Well, the animals just said very far north.
Yeah.
So I guess technically you can roll me a comprehend to see if you can discern what north is on this map, because it's a map you've never seen before. in detail you've never seen before.
Yeah,
So Josh, you are so Bardock. You grab the two sides of this, 40-inch screen, and you, but it's bolted to the wall. You exert yourself to no effort.
Yeah,
Nope.
if it just sort of if it just snapped off and it's just an IKEA hinge that's holding it there, I'd be very disappointed in the International Space Station.
It actually just comes off. It's on a swivel hinge.
Yeah,
it comes off. You just extended it out awkwardly. You're like, oh well, that's convenient.
I need to take this. We can find our way there. How do I get this? So I've got the map.
You're asking Edmund. He says,
Yeah.
You cannot take this as a screen.
How about I just copy down the details to my map? I can memorize these things.
There we go.
That could
So,
work.
Edmund, you crashed here like a week ago, right?
Correct.
All those things outside, were they all on board the ship?
Yes.
The
How
big
close-
thing, the really big thing with the. What is that?
Oh, the Sentinel.
Yeah,
That
whatever.
is a security drone.
Right. Okay.
It's meant to stop intrusions.
Bonk.
Right. Yeah. Well, as you can see,
Looks like it's working.
we're not intruders because it didn't stop us. So clearly, we're supposed to be here. My point is,
That makes sense.
and I tap and I'm like, see, I've even got a lab coat, and I tested to the sack that I'm using, and make
had
sure
noticed
he can't see the ID badge, and just say, so what's your end game here? Like, you're gonna fix it, but how do you get back up there?
And how close are you to completing the repair work?
I believe we could be complete in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
And how do you get back up there?
Yeah, that takes you
That has
back.
proven to be a much more difficult conundrum. It appears we need far more fuel than we currently have in this ship.
Fuel, you say.
I know a thing or two about fuel.
But
Well,
what
that
was,
could prove very useful.
before we help Edmund or anything, what is space like? Is it safe? Does it have food and water?
It is very dark.
Okay.
There is no food or water in space.
Then why would you go back there?
Yes, how can you live in space?
It cocks its head. I don't require food or water.
Oh.
I am a machine.
Oh.
Can you
What do
make
you
it?
Humans did
require?
that were on the ship.
What makes you work then?
Yeah.
You run off and he sloshes a can of moonshine, like a bottle of moonshine. He's like, do you run off this? Or fuel?
No, we have energy docking pods here on the ship. We just recharge. Similar to your human sleep,
Can you make
or
food
whatever you are.
and water? Can you make it?
If we could make food and water, the humans on board would not have died.
Oh.
When
Well,
you go
that
back
makes
into
sense.
space, will there be more humans where you're going?
We cannot produce humans.
That's such a reasonable thing to say. We cannot.
She blinks at him with the big eyes.
So wait, are you saying the
can't
the
even do
raising
that.
like humans out there? They were the last humans. Like all of them gone now? No more of them anywhere
Yes,
out
there are no more humans on this ship.
Hold on.
No, I mean out there in space.
I don't know.
In Eden, Project Eden,
Yes.
did it have a human work staff, or was it all you drones and
No,
shit?
the scientists ran Project Eden.
Right. Okay. Do you have any way of contacting them? Like, do you have
Oh,
like?
wait. You mean the scientists that are dead now?
You can, like a spark comes out of it.
They're not
No,
picking
this-
up.
This is not Project Eden. This is the space station.
Okay.
Project Eden is
Okay.
here, and he points to the map.
Well,
he-
maybe your
Trinko,
job was
how's
to
that
bring
map
them
going?
to
In, yeah,
Project Eden.
in Eden is there food and water in Eden?
He looks to you, and he's just completely baffled. He's, I came from space.
we're also just like, we work at Eden, remember? Like, we work there, so just tell us, how do humans...
Okay, I know, I have all of the details to Eden down. If we're done here, I say we leave as fast as possible for Eden.
Before we go, do you have any cells, portable cells that you use to refuel?
Energy cells.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Can we use some to facilitate our journey to Project Eden to check that things are okay and send for more repairs here? Because Eden probably has supplies that you guys need, right?
This seems like a good plan. Yes.
Bardock just has an aneurysm. Like, what?
His nose bleeds.
Ah!
He says, yes, I can procure you extra fuel cells. Follow me. And he begins to leave whatever this command center is.
Guys, I found explosives, and I have rocket jets. This is gonna be a finale to remember.
I like that you just haven't attacked anything and you just have all kinds of things to blow things up like this. So he leads you out of this corridor and then down to where the opening was coming out of. And before you get to like the actual opening on the ground level, there's another one of these rooms that looks to have strange pods in there. You can see two more of these. The glass-faced robots are mounted in these pods, and they're all like plugged into things, very Matrix style. And he goes to a large cabinet and starts unplugging things, and he unplugs 4 battery cells and hands them to you. He holds them out to you and he says, "These are cells. You have no way to recharge them.
Duracell lasts longer."
Well, no, we'll just we'll just recharge them when we get to Project Eden, because they'll have, right?
We do not have batteries.
As well.
And I just turn to everyone else. I'm like, this has gone really well. We need to leave immediately. Things are progressing so well.
Let's go.
We should be gone. So yeah, I'm going to go, and the first thing I will do is the second sort of like we walk away, I'm going to turn to my good buddy Humphrey and just say, "You pass me the junk cannon real quick."
Yeah, of course. And
not Edmund, not
energy cell.
Not Edmund.
Like putting the energy cells in the junk cannon.
Style. Just one
of them. Okay.
Let me before I hand it to him in the car, I was actually sabotaging it so it wouldn't operate.
The junk cannon? You were sabotaging the junk cannon?
Yeah.
Okay.
But nothing.
Why not?
For all the cruelty, Humphrey finally realized how shitty he's been treated.
I'm hoping it will backfire. So I was trying to like adjust the conduits to either reverse the direction in which it projects things, or.
I swear to God.
But then again, I have no technological knowledge, so it's probably just broken.
If there is one person not to trust in the finale, it is fucking Trainsy.
Apparently Humphrey is just gonna fuck up everyone's day. Humphrey, roll me a comprehend real quick, just so I can see how badly you've fucked this thing up.
Please tell me, like,
okay,
just like. It now fires left-handed.
That's the story of the campaign.
It does something completely different. So you take a cell and you sort of ramrod it down there into the junk cannon. What's your goal with this junk cannon or cell-powered junk cannon?
No, I'm just thinking on the way out we might have to kill that giant tank thing, and I imagine an energy cell will probably do a hefty amount of damage fired from a junk cannon at it.
Yeah,
that's my plan.
That's reasonable.
That's a good plan. So you guys are
in the finale. Bardock has done really well.
We got 30 minutes to get to Eden and strap Juliet to the space station and fly into space. Okay, so let's go.
So Petrenko, so what's your knowledge of distances?
Wait, what?
Do you have any knowledge of math? I would say
any
no.
knowledge of math?
Of maths.
He's in terms of distance, I think he's good with. I don't think he'd quantify it down into like math, but he'd know like days.
So you know that it took you X number of days to get from the Ark to where you are now.
Yeah.
And on your map, you actually had to like find other paper or parts of like the lab coats to make your map bigger to draw where Eden was. And it is drastically longer than it took you to get from the Ark to here.
So what I'm hearing
to
is I need to roll a lot of Find the Path rolls.
Yeah, what you're hearing is it's going to take you several days, if not weeks, to get to Eden from where
What
you
I'm hearing is this actually wasn't... Eden itself isn't included in the original game. This is an unpaid game. And that's optional
It's
DLC.
An unpaid
It's an
game.
unpaid
That's DLC.
game.
Yeah,
Oh,
guys, it's E3 2017, coming in the future, Ruin Nation, Project Eden. Released by Unmade Gaming. Come see me later. We'll talk about that.
Expansion.
Now on Kickstarter.
If you pre-order now, you get the deluxe pack.
Pre-order exclusives are out.
With even more sentient animals.
Now on Kickstarter, coming to you from Encounter Roleplay and Unmade Gaming.
It's a
We're
fucking
tag teaming to make another
Steam Direct game is what it would be.
Yeah.
Somehow it got Steam greenlit.
It's $30 for the first month, and it's free to play afterwards because no one bought it.
So okay, so
you guys are in the lower level where the entrance is, or the main entrance was. You guys avoided. You have Edmund here who just gave you some power cells. You know that outside is a bevy of drones and spider bots and this massive sentinel thing. So yeah, what's your plan?
So I'll say Eden would take us days, maybe weeks to get to from here. I think.
Yeah.
Do we want to go now?
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like this map might be have invisible barriers.
So Bardock, you know how much booze you have, and you know for a fact that it's not enough to go several days in any direction. I'm pretty sure you don't even have enough booze to get all the way back to the Ark.
We need. Humphrey hasn't drank water in
6 liters.
Also,
okay.
if we
you
gone,
have 6 days of booze.
If we gone for weeks, they will wrap things up here, and then they might be gone when we come back.
How? They have no idea how to fix this. He's literally full of shit. I'm calling it now. Edmund doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
They know exactly how to fix it. They just don't know how to get it back into space.
Yeah, they're literally just like they have, like, from what I saw of the entire place, I gestured to the rockets that I've got, the 3 rockets, and I'm like, this is it. This is their propulsion system.
You just pull out the robot's ass. This is it. These are the propulsions. Perfect. So yeah, what is your plan? Are you going to storm out of the castle, I guess?
No, the plan. Right, the plan. So here's what we do, guys. Just get me back to Juliet. I will strap Juliet with these rockets, and we fly to space.
That seems like an appropriate
plan. Good plan as any.
The plan. Let's make it happen.
Oh.
Spark up a cigar, because I love it when a plan comes together.
That's the most Bardock thing. So, Petrenko, you are faced with the fact that Eden is several days away, or several weeks away. You know that you only have 6 liters of booze or 6 liters of fuel to get you 6 days worth of traveling. You know that you had made a tentative deal with the animal people to scout and or defeat the Watchers or the robots. And you know that your Ark is running out of food and people could be dying.
Yeah,
As the most Ark-conscious person here, Petrenko, what do you want to do?
I think what he's thinking is we could get there, but the return journey would also use up a lot of fuel and stuff like that. And we've got the animals. I don't think we necessarily want to blow this place up, but so I think he's a bit torn as well. Like, the option is, like, we go to Eden and we just see what's there and hope for the best, or we kind of go back. But I'm more than happy to kind of, like, ride us off into the sunset, and, you know, adventure awaits out there.
Now that she's found a shitload of drugs and also has a prospect of making a deal with the little Lemmy
the iguana.
Iguana, exactly. I guess Iguana is not that inclined to go anymore, but like it wouldn't be impossible to persuade her.
I mean, guys, if we go to Paradise, there might be a robot vehicle that could use a power cell, and we could probably get back.
Wait, hold on. If we've got this thing here, right, is from the same people who made and got it up there. to Eden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the same people, but it was the same sort of arc that ran it. So maybe we go there and we'll find one of these that works so we can get up there.
With more trucks on it, more belts.
More wheels.
I could start a huge business.
More belts, more drugs. You've just sold 3 of the party members. You know you have. Don't be a pussy, Will.
It is my duty to look after you, I suppose. Very well, we can go, but as long as we return to the Ark afterwards.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna go out into the wasteland and wing it to where this Project Eden is. This,
Mike,
Delta. Yes.
do you actually hear the words coming out of your mouth?
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why there's a question mark on the end of that. It should be just a statement. So you guys are gonna go out into the wilderness. Just say fuck it. Cool. So I want to know how you guys plan to get out of the. You snuck in. Edmund seems okay with you, but you think Edmund's an idiot. So how do you plan on getting out of the Skywheel?
Jump.
I honestly think our best bet would be for me. See, I think if I can sneak up to that thing, I can break it.
Okay.
So I could shut down the security drone. If not, I think our best bet is to have Petrenko stay up here in the porthole with the scrap cannon, brace it, and if we need to use it because you're the best shot, cover me, and if need be, shoot the energy cell at it, and I'll try and get out of the way, and then we all just fucking run.
That works.
So I'd say everyone get out except Petrenko. I'll rush this thing and go camo and see if I can get on it, and if not, you shoot it, and then we all haul ass back to Juliet and run.
Okay.
Because Juliet is 100% still there and won't have been stolen by the drones. Because that wouldn't have happened, you dick.
What? You hit it with a tarp.
Yeah, exactly.
So Josh, spend 1 mutant point. Roll me a d6 to go camo.
Going camo.
Going camo.
Oh, shit.
I am rotted.
Cool. So you immediately you strip off your cloak. You cloak, your lab coat.
Yeah.
You put down the robot. I assume you give it to Humphrey or something like that.
Yeah.
And you immediately, that's what you guys use them for, storage. And you immediately shimmer into invisibility, and then tell me how you mutate.
So it's actually it's a funny story, you see. He's there and he's just putting everything off, and he's got over to the thing, and he leans out, and as he's leaning over the edge to see if he can see what this is, he's holding on to something in the ship, and it breaks like glass and cuts into his palm, and he looks back, and there's just a rack of vials on the outside, and it just it doesn't say anything that he can read, but Ilona would be able to read. It says test subject 225B strain 1, and he's just shattered it, and it's got it in his hand. He's just
perfect. Roll me 2 d6s.
Wonderful.
Let's have a final mutation on the last episode and see how it fucks you guys. 33.
Hey, Mike, buddy.
This is awesome. So, so you get in, you slice your hand open with whatever this is, and every emotion you're feeling, the rage, the excitement of strapping rockets to Juliet, the excitement of taking down this robot, everyone around you, all of the mutants around you, feels that excitement in their own brains. As you have gained the mutation Puppeteer,
Oh, no.
you can now force your thoughts and emotions on other people.
We're dead. We're so dead.
Jesus.
That won't bite anyone.
I don't want to feel what he feels.
That is.
I don't want to know what he knows.
That's great. I'll make you a handout for that because it's so awesome. So yeah, you cut your hand open. You're invisible. You have a mission to go. You're feeling all these emotions. Everyone else around you feels them as well. they can react accordingly. And then what do you do? Are you just running out of this thing invisibly and going to assault this?
I'm gonna slide down the rope, the cable. But yeah, it's Bardock is he's full mast. He's very much excited about this prospect. Yeah, exactly. He's making his way. He's making his way towards the towards this sentinel, and I'm just like I have like Bardock wouldn't know about thermal vision or a million and one other ways this could go really, really wrong. But he's going to run up behind it, and I'm going to try and just grab a piece of scrap and feed it through the cogs to try and completely just jam the fuck out of this thing, and then rip out a bunch of stuff.
So make me a jury rig. Your wrench gives you a +2 to jury rig. And I want to see how exactly. And you know what? And because you're stealthed, I'm going to give you an extra +1 to jerry rig. So make this massive roll against this automaton, and we'll see what the hell happens.
Okay, give me 1 sec. So that plus that plus this stealth plus that plus. That's a 4.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Jury rig is like the thing I can do.
It sure is. So every additional stunt you get, you can do several different things. So for every stunt you roll beyond the first, you can make it extra durable. You can increase its bonus. You can make it a stronger weapon. You can make it faster. So I think you want to disable this thing. First of all, you want to disable the whole top half. Like the guns portion.
Wait.
Yep.
With those, is there any way I could figure out how to take the control of this thing? I know I will literally spend all 4 points to just have control of this thing.
You know what? Because it's the finale, yes, you can. You can absolutely do that. So you've put your wrench in, you've opened up its rear panel, and you can see that in its rear panel there are a series of manual controls, and you just start yanking at them, and as you yank at them, you see that like its arm jerks up, a laser fires out of it, and you're figuring out by just pulling on these levers how to control this thing. And you sort of just open the panel, stick both of your reptilian arms in, and you're more or less controlling this thing. As it wheels back towards your friends, I assume.
Cool. So this thing, please tell me it has hands.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't have actual hands. One is a gun, and one is a taser.
Does it have any claws or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. We'll call them both claws.
Yeah. Cool. So there's these 2 claws, and you watch as this thing rolls up, and you can't see Bardock. You just see the back of this thing open, and then this thing roll up, and just bring up 2 grabbing claws to you guys as Bardock summarily flips everyone the bird with the thing, and then just sort of makes a come hither gesture as this thing does little donuts just in the path because I'm still invisible. So yeah. Come on. I stole a tank droid.
To answer your question, Trainsy, yes, it has a robot face. There, you can see it right there on screen.
Wow.
Fucking jerk. So yeah, you guys see Bardock shudder and break a vial, turn invisible, run out there. You see footprints out of the thing, and then you just see this thing jerk wildly, start erratically moving its arms and pulling donuts. You see a laser fire, and then you see it wheel towards you at breakneck speeds. And then you see Bardock peek out from behind it and tell you to come here with its robot arms.
Oh my
what
God!
do the rest of you guys do?
You really did it! I can't believe it.
4 successes.
Bardock.
What do you guys do? Petrenko, how terrified and annoyed are you?
Very, very.
Yes, no, you're not. You are ecstatic about this.
That's true.
Because
so I sent you the PDF, the handout for Puppet Master, which is what you are, Puppeteer, which is your new ability, Josh. So you can spend whatever points you want. You have 8 of them.
Decide what the victim's next action is. Cost 1 mutation point. You need to look the victim in the eyes, which is only possible at near range. The victim rolls for the action normally.
Look me in the eyes and make me feel ecstatic.
You must spend extra MP yourself. If you force the victim to hurt himself, he suffers weapon damage +1 for every MP spent. So, yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna make sure that you guys all feel as fucking excited as I do about this. I'll spend 3 mutation points. I'll roll for 3 mutations if need be. Just fuck it.
Yeah, so everyone feels ecstatic and suddenly wants to ride this robot.
Yes.
No
yes,
new
I
mutations.
Yes, I do.
Ivona starts jumping up and down, sort of clapping her hands, and
I strangely want to ride this robot.
I know it looks really amazing, doesn't it? I think it will be really exciting.
Let's go for a ride.
And
deep down, Petrenko is
He feels
sort of
dirty.
fighting with himself.
He feels dirty, but he likes it.
I'm gonna
Dirty, but he likes it.
I'm gonna get everyone on board and then ride towards wherever Juliet was.
Yeah, well, she'll
And
be jealous.
hopefully she's still there because
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
She might have
fucking-
left you, man. You
Oh,
got
Oh
another
no, no,
level.
no, no. This and Juliet are going to have sex. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna meld these two things together.
So, with 4 successful jury rig rolls, while you're taking this thing apart and learning how to power it from the inside, you also learn how the mechanisms work together, and you're certain you can get the tank tracks to work on Juliet, which is better than the concrete wheels. And you're fairly certain, 50% chance, that you can mount the upper half on the roof of Juliet, like some kind of sadistic, hood ornament.
So basically, I arrive and I just like shed a tear and I look to Juliet and I look back to this dead robot thing that isn't moving at the moment and I'm like, now, this is important. Okay.
Why do I feel so good about this?
This right here.
Why am I okay with
This is
this?
Juliet. And if you hurt her, I will hunt you down. And considering
Yes,
you
you
can't
will.
move, that would be very easy for me to do. And I will fuck you up, okay? But, Juliet,
It doesn't respond.
Juliet, I'd like you to meet Romeo. And I go to fucking work. The big question, can I get, if this thing runs...
What the fuck have you done?
I played in a game where Mike was DMing and I fucked him because he always fucks me. Can I get the bastard hybrid of the two to run on these energy cells we have?
So yes, you
Give
can
us a
actually,
shot of getting
if
that.
you mount the upper half of the robot on the hood, it'll remove your use of your scrap cannon, but you can mount it on the hood, and the Juliet will run on either booze or battery cells.
Sweet. I'm actually going to mount it in the back and like literally just in the... and so basically we can mount it as like a turret that can be manned in the back and just this giant ridiculous thing in the truck bed. And it's
Well, you have to
be...
mount it to the front where the engine is, or else it won't run on fuel cells. So it can run on booze currently.
Hey,
If you
it
put
can
it
be
in
rear-wheel
the back, yeah,
It can be
your
rear-wheel
call.
drive. It's
That
rear-wheel
works.
drive. It's fine.
Sure. That's how engines work.
No, but yeah. So I find a way, and I turn to everyone else, and I'm like,
Wow, Will, job well done.
I think Mike needs to book a therapy session
Job
right
well
now.
done.
That is really good domino cosplay.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Would roll play domino again. Someone go ahead and clear the transparency on the back of that and just put that on all my faces.
Someone see the difference.
Oh.
Oh, God. Holy shit.
What's happening right now?
Okay.
I lost control. I don't know I had it. So, you guys are arriving at Juliet on a Bardock-powered robot. He takes a good couple hours, dismantles the robot, and somehow, with glue and duct tape, attaches it in a manner that works to Juliet.
And we're all very excited about
Yeah,
it.
you're very excited, slightly aroused. He keeps talking about threesomes, talking about Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
And you guys are planning to go to
As soon as
Eden?
he starts thinking about drugs, we're all fucked.
Yeah,
Never-
true.
We'll
You know
never
what?
make it anywhere.
I haven't taken a colossal amount of drugs in ages.
That's true.
Everyone now decides to. Yeah, so I'm going to I mount this thing up and I gesture. I'm like, Petrinko, you're the best shot. I've sort of made it's not comfortable, but there's a bench that I've attached to the back, so there's now a seat so you can sit and manipulate it. And I'm like, there you go. Right, and everyone else can mount up in Romeo and Juliet as we. This is how that story
I'm so
went, right?
glad
I've never actually read it, I confess.
So
But
glad I
read-
just
my friend,
upgraded the stream to 60 frames.
Yeah, everyone killed themselves, and and then it was a happy day for everybody.
Yeah, this is pretty much how it works. So we can.
All we have to do now is find a new teddy bear.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. So Julia.
God damn it, Will!
It's moving. It's alive.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Someone clip that. Whatever. Yes. So you guys ride off into the sunset to find Project Eden or Paradise Valley, one of the two, if they are not the same thing, in a robotic Juliet-infused car that runs on alcohol and power cells. You have about 10 days of fuel and no idea where you're going. So campaign well done, I think, guys. I think that was
Can everyone just say how impressive it is that, like, we can't tell how synthesized Mike's voice actually is? Like, it sounds really human. It's a really convincing.
Oh, I'll just rest it above you now, Mike.
I'm just
Dangle it above you.
I'm
Yeah.
just glad it's over, guys.
I literally, when we did the investigation, you were like, you're gonna be shit at combat and everything. The one thing you'll be good at is jury rig. And you just put a load of scrap in front of me and told me, yeah, you can try jury rig. And I was like, okay, Mike, your fucking funeral.
I mean, at the very least, should there ever be a season 2, we already have the opening shot, which is a wide expanse of nothing of the wastelands, and then you see in the distance, sort of coming
You
closer,
see one
this-
face.
This
Well, I
abomination.
need Josh to run another Apocalypse World campaign so I can steal the
Sorry,
premise of that and
yeah.
go from there.
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah, so that was not at all what I envisioned for Ruination, but that's what happened.
I mean, hey, none of us died.
That's a
Yeah.
surprise.
I was ready to place bets that we
that's where the
wouldn't
surprise
make it
started.
past the second
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, so
I have
Will,
mutations in full health, so
yeah, you guys did absolutely get full health towards the end there. You got a bunch of I didn't expect you to kill a medical robot either. So Will,
Drugs,
that was season, it was technically season 0 of it was the prequel to Ruination. Did not go as I planned, but I'll throw it back over to you. What?
I know we're trying to finish the finale, but I'm playing the Jaws theme song. Has just been cruel on. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
damn it.
I'm serious too now.
Oh.
I'm
I can't
serious
believe
too.
it.
I can just
Oh.
see it just steadily drifting.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that was. I can't.
Guys, 10 out of 10, best finale, I think.
Oh.
that was my favorite finale
That was
ever.
my
More so
favorite
than
episode.
Numenera, but for different reasons.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's show. If you did, then please let us know. If you enjoyed the season, then
My cheeks hurt.
then let us know. We're returning next week for the new season. We're playing Middle Earth, Journey into Middle Earth campaign. Looking forward to that. But yeah, let's go around the cast and crew. What do we think of tonight's session? Where can we find you guys online? All that good stuff. Let's hand over to Mike for a moment here.
Yeah, so this was not what I expected at all. I actually had an entire like 8 sessions written out. Episode 1, I threw that away and was like, that's not going to work for these guys. And basically every episode, I just rewrote the campaign because it wasn't going anywhere near where I had intended it to go. And I was like, you know what? We'll just go with whatever they want. And it seems to have worked.
Can we have a sneaky teaser of what you actually intended this to be?
Yes, please.
To give us, like, I want to know how.
Yeah, so like, you were supposed to go to the animal towers on friendly terms.
Did that?
On friendly, you hit all of the high notes. You went to the animal towers on your own terms, which I was like, okay, that changes that. You were supposed to go to the Sky Wheel, like, episode 5.
Right.
Which I guess technically this was episode 5. We just missed 3 other episodes. You were supposed to get to Eden and discover the mystery behind the mutants, as to why you can't reproduce and why you are mutants. But that's season 2.
I don't see how we can discover anything. Like,
no, it's impossible for you 4 to discover anything. Like, that's where I learned that the hard way.
But still, the people back at our arch will talk about us and sing songs about us.
That's true.
For all eternity.
As you ride off into the sunset. But I mean, you set up if there's ever going to be a season 2, it's you guys coming to Eden to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But as always, guys, I'm Mike from Mummy Gaming. You can find me there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, playing more tabletop shit, and you can see me here on Mondays for the foreseeable future until Will frees me of our devil contract and lets me relive my life.
Yep, that's it. That's fantastic. Josh.
That was intense. That was it was wonderful to play with you guys. Thank you very much for making it as amusing as possible. It's interesting to see Will try and play rational. It was wonderful watching him self-torture.
My brain doesn't work that way.
Tracy, you have been nothing but a delight the entire time. I'm just genuinely, I've never been more surprised by an opening voice that none of us were ready for. No one was prepared for the Humphrey voice. And Petra, thank you for sort of trying to keep this together as best you can. Because as much as Will said Petrenko was trying, I think Petrenko just wanted to go home. I think Alona kind of really stopped us from killing ourselves or killing each other. So yeah, it's been wonderful. Guys, I cannot hype up enough Middle Earth next week. Like, I don't have enough.
So excited, man.
Me and Will are the biggest Lord of the Rings nerds. We have sat in pubs and just quoted entire like monologues from Lord of the Rings after a couple of it's gonna be good. So I'm super excited about that. But also, I don't like Will. This is gonna seem really super laid out and well planned. But what are we doing tomorrow, Will?
Tomorrow, for that we don't actually. So tomorrow, what's happening is I'm playing on Arvin's channel. At 12, another Middle-earth game, fucking loads of Middle-earth, and then 3 to 6, we'd be playing Horror on the Orient Express. So you guys are not needed for tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
We've got new friends, Josh. Okay.
Yeah, I know. So
you can meet your character in Middle-earth.
I will be. Yeah, I know. Thursday, I will be around for the trials and tribulations of you wonderful people in chat. For more wonderful adventures. And next Tuesday, I'm starting a new campaign, which is going to be amazing, called
Everyone is so hyped for that game too.
I know, goddamn. Like, I woke up and Tall Squall, who's amazing, I cannot say enough nice things about Tall Squall, had sent me about 9 pages of questions and backstory. And I've just spent all day talking to him and genuinely, like, and then I'm like, well, what are you doing? And he's like, and I'm like, well, I don't mean to push you, but he's kind of written his entire life story of this character and everything that it's amazing. So super hyped for that, and that'll be all of the time that I can speak because I have a mouth that I'm allowed to talk, and then Will.
And Petra.
Hey, that was a ridiculous amount of fun. And hey, I said at the beginning, I hope that Ivona would be able to make another deal. It wasn't a deal. It was more like just grab all the pills, all the drugs. So I got that done. And that was... So yeah, thank you guys. That was awesome.
Fantastic.
pretty ridiculous and pretty awesome. And so with this session, and so endeth my stint on Encounter Roleplay for now. But I shall return sooner or later. And in the meantime, you can watch me play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition every Wednesday over on the Twitch channel Exploding Dice, where every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we play the campaign Iron Gods, where fantasy world and sci-fi clash.
Ooh.
And my character unexpectedly started a casino brawl, and sort of turned us into the pariahs of the town. And so last session we're just trying to get out of town as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But hopefully we'll see Petra before next year, because it seems like we play on a yearly basis for about 8 weeks, and then we see each other again. So hopefully we'll see her back before then. Fantastic. And Mr. Trainsy?
Yeah, still bummed about my hippo friend.
Yeah.
I knew that just was never written in the storyline that Humphrey was going to become the hippo he was intended to be. But
I mean, season two, hot smoothies.
Yeah.
Hippo,
no, season 4 it'll be a hint. Season 4 it'll be like
That's the pre-order bonus.
Yeah. Pending, it's a stretch goal for the Kickstarter.
season 4 origins.
Yeah.
And then in between seasons, we get a glimpse at Humphrey's diary, where it's just like he writes the date. He doesn't know already what date is, and
Still
then it's
not a
just
still not a
empty.
hippo.
Yeah, still not a hippo, and then empty. That is all for today. And then I miss what was the
Errol.
name?
Miss
The
Errol
name
the
of
bear.
Yeah.
I want it to be nothing like pages and pages and pages and still not a hippo, and then the final entry in the book is just this huge impact print on the page, and it just nailed it.
And then in a different handwriting, there's a little smiley face. It says, "He made it."
One day.
One day more.
One day. I think Humphrey's voice changed like 3 different times throughout the series.
Yeah.
But maybe it was because he was getting broken down more and more. Mutated? Yeah. No, the gills augmented it. It was fun. I even with open endings, I feel that, especially with as much fun as we had at the ending, that they can be more complete. If that makes sense. Where you're like, the destination is ahead. But I had an enjoyable time. You can find me on my channel, streaming pretty much every day now.
Oh, shit,
yeah.
the commander's old. The big deal needs updating. Shit. There we go.
Need a redirect on that.
Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Yeah, so, as far as myself, you'll see me back tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm on Arvin Elrond's channel. We're playing some Middle-earth games, and it's a new campaign I'll be on, so super excited about that. And a bunch of great people on it as well. So you see me then tomorrow. Then I'll be on here at 3 till 6 or 7, playing horror on the Orient Express. So a little jigged around schedule for tomorrow, but all will be back on track for next week as our season 4 of 2017 launches. One last thing, go sign up to my Kickstarter, the Thunderclap thingy. Launches June 26th, D&D and Pathfinder module. Excited for that, but other than that, guys, I have a special treat for you, something to leave you with as a memory, a testament to this campaign and to Mike. So until then, guys, try not to throw too many net ones. We want to be here laughing when you do. Bye!